Today, billions of people around the world are summoned to a place where they are forced to kill. A place where demons and monsters roam everywhere, the darkness of death lurking like a shadow. Slain in decisions, struggling and rising amidst the darkness. Will our MC this time be able to go against all odds and reach the peak of the world? In a city in the Blue Star Dragon country. Initially, the day was so bright, the sunlight piercing through the clouds creating a warm atmosphere on a sunny day. Qin Feng was casually walking on the sidewalk when some people began to notice something descending from the sky, making the sky turn dark. They then wondered what was happening. Why did everything suddenly change to dark? A girl pointed to the sky, making everyone, including Qin Feng, who was confused earlier, look at it. They were all shocked to see the dreadful scene in front of them. People began to panic, some associating it with aliens, the end of the world, or doomsday. People started running and scattering everywhere. Especially when something strange came out of the sky, they became even more panicked. After that, something came out and descended from the sky. Then a system board appeared in front of everyone, including Qin Feng. Seeing that, Qin Feng wondered if what was in front of him was virtual imaging technology and not reality. However, after thinking about it again, which country or organization in Blue Star could have such technology? When people touched the system board, some lines of text appeared on it. People's expressions began to change, some were confused, scared, and even happy to see it. The system board read, "A world full of murder is about to open. Healthy individuals aged between 20 to 50 will come to the world simultaneously. This world is where giant beasts roam, demons are everywhere, and all races coexist. This place is full of death and crisis, but also full of resources and opportunities, where one can die at any time or live forever." Then a very bright light descended across the city, illuminating everyone and locking them within that light. They became more confused and scared, unable to do anything anymore. There was even a mother who could only cry hysterically as she was separated from her daughter through that beam of light. Qin Feng himself still didn't know what was happening and thought perhaps it was the work of aliens. But suddenly his body seemed to be sucked in by the light and then disappeared just like that. The system board said this event was the only chance for redemption for Blue Star. Finally, an announcement appeared saying congratulations, because everyone had arrived at beginner village number 911. Each beginner village starts with 1,000 people. Qin Feng landed from the sky, falling into one of the wooden houses in the village. Of course, this young man panicked for a moment because he didn't know what to do. After everything settled, he arrived at a place where he checked his system board to see what he had. Qin Feng could see that the information board had complete data about him, from name and age to the abilities he possessed all there. He could also see his level. Then Qin Feng went to the public conversation channel to see what people were saying after entering this different world. Everyone, including other beginner villages, could communicate through that conversation channel. After Qin Feng pressed the button on the hologram screen, many people in the chat room were still confused about the recent events that had befallen them. Some felt they were abducted by aliens, asking for help from anyone and hoping the government would help them. Others thought they were abducted by aliens and made for experiments, while some were overthinking to the point they were convinced that this was like what they read in fantasy novels, and they didn't know who the protagonist among them was. After seeing people's complaints, they also chatted with each other, while knowing their four-dimensional indexes, which are related to what powers and skills they possess. Qin Feng began to understand that apparently, fighting strength is related to the four-dimensional index ability. So by improving that, fighting strength can be increased. And the likelihood of survival can increase by 1 point. Now most people are at position 1 star, and some have reached the limit of 1 star. From the data they disclosed, it appears that the average four-dimensional index value for ordinary people is 10 points. Meanwhile, Qin Feng realized that his physical strength did not reach 10 points, perhaps because of his skinny body, so his value was slightly lower. Qin Feng could also see from the data mentioned by people that the highest energy index was 13 points, which is less than half a point. Although he didn't know what the energy index was for, it might be advantageous for him. Then Qin Feng saw something about unique talents. The system indicated that talents are divided into 9 levels: F, E, D, C, B, A, S, SS, and SSS. With F being the weakest and SSS the highest. And talents above the SS level are unique. After people knew about this, they became restless and even confused about the unique talents mentioned, including the determined levels. However, the system gave them the option if Qin Feng would awaken his unique talent. Of course, Qin Feng pressed the yes button to agree. After pressing that button, Qin Feng entered a strange world where many blue-colored balls were floating in all directions. From Qin Feng's experience of reading fantasy novels, these balls are probably part of talent awakening. Afterward, the balls floated here and there, approaching Qin Feng's body, and then one of them collided with Qin Feng's body. Finally, one by one, the balls began to crash into his body and entered Qin Feng's body just like that. After the balls entered his body, Qin Feng felt his power multiplied many times over. Shortly after, there was a notification from the system saying that his talent had awakened and his level was now SSS, Endless Extraction. Qin Feng looked very surprised to receive an SSS class talent. Then the system informed again that the special skill Qin Feng obtained was Endless Extraction. This means extraction can be launched on all targets to get unexpected results, and this skill has no limit. Qin Feng was truly astonished, almost disbelieving his talent. He had acquired a unique SSS-level talent, yielding unforeseen outcomes. Although the explanation was too ambiguous, it seemed he had to find opportunities to experiment to understand its effects more clearly. Afterward, the system notified again that the beginner village had awakened talents with details of 787 F-level awakeners, 194 E-level awakeners, and 2 C-level awakeners. People in the chat room began to stir because of this notification, as they had already reached their levels and also possessed their respective talents. However, Qin Feng couldn't believe it because the majority of people awakened talents at F and E levels, and those who awakened talents at D level were less than 2% of the total population of the beginner village. Thus, SSS-level talents were extremely rare. 2 people in the village had awakened talents at C rank besides Qin Feng and another person he didn't know. This young man wondered what rank the individuals with C rank talents were at and if they would be at the SSS level like him. It turned out that not only Qin Feng was curious about who obtained the C rank, but also everyone in the chat room immediately asked the person with the C class to reveal themselves. One of the individuals who obtained the C class was Lu Xian. His figure immediately became the talk of the town, with many people praising and cheering for him. Seeing the reactions of the people, Qin Feng realized that C-class talents were highly sought after. If he were to expose his excessive SS talent, Qin Feng worried he would not only receive praise and applause but also various problems. Moreover, in that bloodthirsty world full of slaughter, an SSS-level innate ability was Qin Feng's greatest support and trump card, which shouldn't be easily exposed. Afterward, the system notified that from now on, everyone could leave the wooden cabin and enter the beginner village. After 10 seconds, the beginner test would begin. Those who didn't meet the standard would be eliminated on the spot. The system announced that the method to level up was to kill all kinds of fierce beasts, demons, and monsters, and gain energy to level up. Initial weapons had been provided, and everyone was welcome to check those weapons. Qin Feng then pulled out a sword from the hologram panel with amazement. To him, the god panel wasn't just an entity, but it had tangible objects that could be taken, and it felt quite magical. He then picked up a beginner sword, a +2 attack power rusty sword, the equipment of every beginner, a 0 rank equipment. The system also notified that the attack power would change according to the attribute power, with one attribute power increasing one attack. Qin Feng carefully inspected the sword in his hand. Afterward, he wanted to try the sword, so he swung it, realizing that the beginner sword could easily kill a cow with its power, making him unsure if the attack power of the sword was only at +2. If the sword could be continuously upgraded, 10, 20, 30, and so on, then the power of the sword would be unimaginable. Then Qin Feng began to think about how to increase the power of the sword. Afterward, Qin Feng tried to use his talent on the sword. He then used his limitless extraction talent. With that, the sword began to be coated with the energy of his talent power, then Qin Feng tried to swing the sword again into the air. The system notified that Qin Feng succeeded in extracting it. Qin Feng had successfully removed the rust and residue from the sword, thus upgrading it to a beautiful steel sword. The sword now had an attack power of +5 and was at rank 1. Qin Feng considered it extraordinary. He used his talent power and rose from rank 0 to rank 1. The attack power of the sword also increased to 5. It was very exciting for Qin Feng. He even smiled satisfactorily feeling the difference in the sword. Qin Feng then wanted to try again using his talent power on the sword. So Qin Feng lifted the sword, then coated it with his talent energy, but suddenly the energy disappeared just like that. The system appeared to notify that the extraction had failed. Because the quality of the target was too low, so Qin Feng had reached his extraction limit. Qin Feng finally realized that extraction also had its limits. Qin Feng thought if he could perform unlimited extraction and further enhance his abilities, wouldn't that be a bug? Then Qin Feng swung the sword towards the wall just like that, and he was sure that his weapon was better than others. Shortly after, he heard the voices of people starting to come out of the wooden cabin. They were streaming out of the cabin, and once outside, they were chatting with each other. Qin Feng decided to go and see the outside world confidently. In this beginner village 911, all houses were made of wood and surrounded by towering mountains. Above the village, there were several flying monsters without the intention to disturb the villagers. People who had just come out of the wooden house started communicating with each other and chatting. They also discussed the fact that if they didn't reach level 10, then they would be killed. For them, it was very terrifying. They realized that they were forced to go and kill monsters, especially since the beginner test only had a limit of 7 days. Most of them didn't know what they should do. They all didn't want to die in that place. They were afraid, and they didn't want to die. But they knew they couldn't return to Blue Star just by feeling scared and crying like that. Afterward, people started to be curious about each other's abilities and talents. Then they began asking each other about their ranks, levels, and also the abilities they had, including talents. Everyone, including Qin Feng, gathered outside. They didn't know what they should do there. They were also unsure of how strong the fierce beasts outside were, unsure of what they could do. Then they tried to find out who was willing to help explore and form an alliance to hunt monsters. Looking at the gate in front of him, Qin Feng began to think if it was supposed to be the entrance gate of the beginner village, but after walking out of that dimensional gate, it would turn into a world of bloody slaughter. And the question now was who would be the first person to enter that gate. Not long after, there was an explosion from behind the people. They started to panic and wondered what that sound was. Was it a bomb or a beast? However, it turned out to be Wang Chang. He was a boundary fighter. People who saw him began to shout and say how strong he was. And some others asked about his awakening talent. Wang Chang answered that if he had the rank D talent of the Berserker power when he used his talent, his ability tripled. Qin Feng, hearing this, began to remember that Wang Chang said his power was 18. After using his talent, it became 54. It's no wonder he could destroy rocks with just one strike. With such a powerful attack, he could rank in the top 10 in village 991. People started to praise Wang Chang and say how strong he was, also remembering that his talent was an extraordinary strength enhancement. Hearing all the praise made Wang Chang feel proud and more confident. He then thought that all his sweat and hard work in training had finally paid off. In this world of killing, he had reached the pinnacle of his life. Then some people started asking where Lu Xian, the owner of the C-rank talent, was. They were curious about how strong that person was. Wang Chang then said that he would leave the village first and help everyone see how strong the fierce beasts behind that gate were. Without much further thought, Wang Chang immediately entered the portal leading out of the village. Qin Feng thought that Wang Chang might be strong enough but looked foolish at that moment unless he was sure never to be the first to enter the portal unprepared or without a companion. Upon entering the portal, Wang Chang found himself in the forest now, muttering about a person named Lu Xian who had a C rank. He would prove to everyone that he would defeat those fierce beasts and surely become the boss later. Suddenly Wang Chang realized something swiftly passing behind him. He was very sure. He then began to wonder if it was a beast. Not long after, a fierce beast appeared, shaped like a rabbit but looked very fierce and large. Shortly after, the system announced that newbie Wang Chang was killed by a level 1 fierce beast, Bloodfang Rabbit. The system warned that the combat ability of a level 1 fierce beast was rated 3 stars, the combat ability of a level 2 fierce beast was rated 4 stars, the combat ability of a level 3 fierce beast was rated 5 stars, and so on. Wang Chang's death made everyone start to panic because even the strongest person with AD rank could easily die, let alone them. They began to feel confused and didn't know what to do. The system warned that combat abilities were rated based on 4 attributes, but talent was not included. The protective shield of the beginner village could hold back the fierce beasts from entering, but after the beginner protection period ended, all those monsters could enter. Qin Feng, upon hearing this, began to think that if Wang Chang was killed by the weakest level 1 fierce monster just 5 minutes after he left, the difficulty of surviving in this world would be harder than he imagined. To prevent people from hiding in the beginner village, they gave a reminder that the protective shield would be removed. So, after so many notifications, it was unlikely that the test was designed so that people couldn't pass. According to Qin Feng, there must be a way. If the combat ability of monsters was 3 stars when encountering humans and 4 stars, who would win in the end? One person said they couldn't stay there and wait to die. They had to kill monsters and level up, otherwise, death awaited them. Others said that they were still young, and they didn't want to die there. Then they thought of cooperating. According to them, the more members they had, the stronger they would be. Cooperation was their strength. they could defeat those monsters and complete the mission as quickly as possible. Anyone willing to cooperate had to show their attributes and talent abilities. It was meant to help them cooperate better. Everyone then formed their groups based on their ranks and abilities. Then someone approached Qin Feng, saying that they saw Qin Feng alone and intended to invite Qin Feng to join their team. However, Qin Feng quickly and casually refused the offer. He thought that cooperation might be the best way, but it didn't suit him. He had to hide his talent abilities before he became stronger. It had been over 15 minutes since the last team entered, it was almost time, and now he had to enter the portal too. Qin Feng had already left the beginner's village, finding himself in the forest at that moment. He navigated through the woods while surveying his surroundings. Qin Feng felt a slightly eerie sensation as he traversed the forest, as if a dinosaur might leap out directly in front of him. He then caught a whiff of an unpleasant odor in the air, a disgusting smell akin to blood. As he continued walking, Qin Feng spotted the body of Wang Chang lying on the ground, blood and saliva trickling from his mouth. Qin Feng knew that Wang Chang had died due to his rash personality. Ultimately, it was because he suddenly appeared in the world to kill. After seeing Wang Chang's corpse, this young man finally realized that he could die at any moment. To survive, he needed to be vigilant and remain strong. Thinking about strength, Qin Feng remembered something he had pondered on his own. If what he thought was correct, he needed to see something and make sure. Qin Feng began to touch Wang Chang's body and used his talent to extract it, and it worked. Qin Feng easily acquired a rank D talent of berserk power. Qin Feng could hardly believe it because he had successfully extracted someone else's talent. Although the system stated that limitless extraction could extract any target, it would have unexpected effects. The berserk power he obtained, a talent of strength, could triple when used. Qin Feng's initial strength of 8 increased to 24 when he used the extraction power. Much stronger than an ordinary adult. It made him realize that this was truly how to use the ability of an SSS rank talent. Qin Feng only needed enough time, then he could have hundreds, or even thousands, or tens of thousands of abilities. With all those talents, he could become the strongest in the world. Qin Feng felt that becoming stronger was enjoyable. Then Qin Feng said that Wang Chang was strong, but his speed, defense, and everything was standard, or just ordinary. Especially his rash personality. Under those circumstances, daring to challenge fierce beasts, Wang Chang was truly digging his own grave. Qin Feng took Wang Chang's sword and extracted it using his talent. He felt that for many people, cooperation would help each other, weaknesses would not be so obvious, and perhaps with that, they could survive in the world of killing. However, Qin Feng did not need it. This young man was confident that with endless extraction, he would not have any weaknesses. Then Qin Feng saw the body of the bloodfang rabbit that had been killed, which was the fierce beast that had killed Wang Chang. Qin Feng was sure from its wounds that it seemed the monster had been killed by people after being surrounded. Qin Feng successfully extracted the monster and obtained 2 power attributes. Although Qin Feng believed he could still extract attribute points. Adding 2 power attributes, his basic strength was the same as that of an ordinary adult. When he used the Berserker power attribute, his strength would become 30. If he extracted that fierce beast, his strength would become like Wang Chang's. Qin Feng asked if he could extract the corpse of that fierce beast repeatedly. However, he suddenly failed to extract it. The system warned that targets level 20 and below could only be extracted once, then would immediately reach their limit. Qin Feng realized that the sword he had just obtained also had extraction limitations. He thought it didn't matter, he just needed to find a new corpse. He could only extract it again. Qin Feng then continued walking, confident that the team would kill enough fierce monsters. If Qin Feng followed their path, he could kill more corpses with more people, making it easier to surround and kill fierce monsters. He might find more corpses on that path. Qin Feng then followed their tracks. There were too many footprints. Suddenly, there was a notification from the system that Liu had been killed by a level 1 rodent rat. Qin Feng was shocked to hear this notification. Because he was the second person killed by a monster even though they had worked together as a team. When Qin Feng extracted Wang Chang's corpse earlier, he obtained a talent, but when he extracted the level 1 bloodfang rabbit, he only got power attributes. Humans and fierce beasts were different. Level 1 fierce beasts had low levels, didn't have talents, and only had strong bodies, so they could only extract attribute points. If that's the case, he would search for Liu's corpse. Perhaps he could obtain another valuable talent that way. Qin Feng then climbed a tree to survey the surroundings because he didn't know which path Team Liu had taken, so based on his thoughts. Some people were more likely to have accidents, Team Liu might have taken a small path. Qin Feng then observed the surrounding area for any unexpected occurrences. The system appeared again and informed that another newbie had been killed by a level 1 rodent rat, named Zhou Zheng. Both of them were killed by the same monster, which meant they might have been killed in the same place too. The danger they faced seemed far more frightening than Qin Feng had thought. Sometimes, even though they were in a group of more than one person, the team couldn't handle it. Qin Feng began to wonder if he should continue. Qin Feng caught a scent and started to descend from the tree. In a world where people needed their lives to survive, once they were weak, they were only prey waiting to be hunted. Helpless and unable to fight back. If Qin Feng wanted to stay alive, he needed to understand that high risks would bring high rewards. After landing on the ground, Qin Feng immediately ran along the roads, passing through dense bushes. He sat down under them for cover, while keeping watch and thinking that it was a dangerous world. He would die if he wasn't careful. The place he was heading to felt very dangerous. And he had to stay alert. Then Qin Feng caught a strong stench of blood coming from somewhere. When he looked from behind the bushes, he could see two bodies lying there. They were Zhou Cheng and Li Yu. This young man was sure that rodent rats might be nearby, level 1 fierce beasts with a 3-star fighting rank ability, while Qin Feng was only 1 star, so Qin Feng was no match for that monster. Qin Feng became anxious thinking about that reality. Then Qin Feng saw something that surprised him even more. Qin Feng couldn't believe what he saw. There was a helpless level 1 rodent rat lying amidst its blood. Considering that even a level 1 beast with a 3-star fighting capability could overpower him, who was merely 1 star at that moment, under normal circumstances, he was no match for such a creature. However, the rodent rat had lost its fangs, and it appeared to be severely injured as well. Qin Feng thought that it might be easier to kill the monster now. Thus, he swung his sword and leaped towards it with caution. Just as he neared the creature, the large rat suddenly sprang back to life and lunged at him, almost striking him with its attack, causing him to release one of his swords. Nevertheless, to Qin Feng, a beast remained a beast without intelligence. He coated his sword with his talent and swiftly thrust it into the monster's body mid-air. The monster died instantly. Qin Feng descended and drove his sword deeper into the creature's body. The rodent rat screamed, prompting Qin Feng to strike its face forcefully until it became completely powerless. Qin Feng realized that his sneak attack had left him severely injured, indicating the danger of underestimating such ferocious beasts. He resolved to be more cautious in the future. After successfully killing the level 1 rodent rat, the system informed him that he gained 30 energy points. The rodent rat's body then vaporized, entering Qin Feng's body, making him feel incredibly warm as if purifying and cleansing his exhausted body. Afterward, Qin Feng observed the information board in the system, which showed that his level had risen from 10/100 to 130/100. For Qin Feng, it wasn't a bad start. He then extracted 2 agility attributes from the rodent rat's body, increasing his agility to 11 and enhancing his fighting ability once again. Although extracting attributes from a level 1 ferocious beast provided limited benefits, it still made him stronger. Qin Feng was now curious about what he would gain by extracting attributes from a level 2 ferocious beast. Now it was time for Qin Feng to continue his initial journey. He also succeeded in extracting a talent, ranked F, which was a scent enhancement. Although it was the lowest ranked talent, it was one of the 6 senses, enhancing his sense of smell. The system explained that scent enhancement was a rare talent, magnifying olfactory senses tenfold when activated. Qin Feng knew that this talent might be useless for the weak but beneficial for him, especially in the vast forest where finding corpses was difficult. With his enhanced sense of smell, Qin Feng could detect the scent of ferocious beasts and evade them beforehand. He felt that he had acquired this talent at the perfect time. He then took Zhou Cheng's cloak and placed his sword in it. Qin Feng was confident that since the start of the exam an hour ago, his strength and agility had reached a sufficiently high standard. With the 3 abilities he had acquired, his fighting ability reached 2 stars, possibly even close to the limit of 2 stars. However, since they only had 4 attributes, it only indicated that his fighting ability was at 1 star. Qin Feng understood that the ranking of fighting abilities was just a reference and couldn't rely too much on it. Qin Feng intended to continue his journey using his new talent, scent enhancement. With his new talent, he could sense his surroundings, discerning even the slightest changes in the air and identifying odors sharply. He smelled the scent of blood, 10 times stronger, making him almost nauseous. Qin Feng tried to calm himself, relax, and get accustomed to the sharp scent while distinguishing between different types of smells, fresh earthy scent, fragrant flower scent, and the approach of something ominous. Meanwhile, a group of people working together were chasing a ferocious rodent rat. They were agile, chasing each other, but those with a plan tried to kill the monster until they successfully surrounded and killed it. The system announced that they had killed a level 1 ferocious rodent rat, and each of them gained 30 EXP. One of them complained about their misfortune, having to face 2 ferocious rodent rats, almost leading to their demise. Another mentioned that everyone was injured, and both Li Yu and Zhou Cheng had already died. If it weren't for Ying Ming, who was called the boss, allowing them to retreat, then luring the monster there and finally ambushing and killing it, they would all likely be dead. Someone else urged them not to mention it again and to focus on killing the severely injured ferocious rodent rat as quickly as possible. They didn't want anyone else to kill it, as they would be the ones to benefit. Meanwhile, Qin Feng, who had been observing them, realized that the people they mentioned were probably the ones he had encountered earlier, and the ferocious rodent rat they wanted to kill was the one he had already slain. Qin Feng decided to leave to avoid confrontation with them. Using his talent, Speed Enhance, Qin Feng ran swiftly. While apologizing, he understood that in such a ruthless world, being kind would only cost one's life. Qin Feng resolved to gather all the resources to survive. Later, Qin Feng realized that over the past 3 hours, everyone had been working hard to kill the ferocious rodent rat. He understood the entire situation in the beginner's grassland. The beginner's grassland housed 5 types of level 1 ferocious beasts: ferocious rodent rat, ferocious bloodfang rabbit, ferocious grassland gray wolf, berserk wild boar, and poisonous red snake. And at that moment, he was observing the berserk wild boar he had already extracted. However, it turned out the extraction limit failed because it had reached its maximum. He had already extracted the same type of ferocious beast level 1 3 times. Qin Feng was initially surprised by this, but then he understood, and eventually, he had to search for the poisonous red snake because the others had already been extracted 3 times. While extracting other fighters, Qin Feng said that so far, there have been 7 death notices announced. But the bodies found were only a few. Unlike beast attributes, human talents are much harder to obtain. Qin Feng successfully extracted the E-rank Vision's Enhance. On his system board, his combat ability finally reached 2 stars. It seems now he can challenge a ferocious beast level 1 alone. Then Qin Feng caught a scent that turned out to be from the poisonous red snake. He felt pleased about it. At full speed, he ran towards the monster. However, while running, he caught a scent like there was another smell too. He then started to wonder if it was the smell of a flower or its fruit. Upon reaching the monster, Qin Feng hid behind a tree while observing because the scent came from there, while the one he smelled earlier was from the flower nearby. It seemed like the poisonous red snake was guarding that flower. With a scent like that, and also a ferocious beast guarding it, the flower was not an ordinary one. The poisonous red snake is the strongest level 1 ferocious beast in the grassland, the only one providing the mind attribute. And it seemed like it was his lucky day. Qin Feng prepared to take out his sword when the poisonous red snake noticed his presence. Then quickly, the poisonous red snake lunged towards Qin Feng, but he managed to dodge. Unfortunately, the tree where Qin Feng was hiding got destroyed because of that attack. However, Qin Feng felt like the snake's speed was significantly slower. He didn't know what happened. Or perhaps, did the snake just eat its prey, and was it going through the digestion process? Was that why its speed slowed down? Qin Feng didn't care about that. Then he started to attack to finish off the poisonous red snake. From above, Qin Feng attempted to attack the snake's body. Once he hit it, he found it difficult because the snake's scales were very hard. The poisonous red snake moved its body, then slammed Qin Feng's body hard onto the ground. The poisonous red snake screamed, making Qin Feng cover his ears. He then used his berserk strength talent and stabbed the roof of the snake's mouth with his sword. The snake writhed in pain, but it made it lift the sword and Qin Feng's body into the air. Qin Feng hung between his sword and the snake's teeth. Then, with extraordinary speed, Qin Feng easily chopped the snake's body into several pieces. Now Qin Feng's strength was at 40, now he just needed to kill one more level 1 ferocious beast, then he could level up to level 2. If the poisonous red snake's belly wasn't full and its movements weren't slowed, Qin Feng might not have been able to kill the snake easily. Then he split open the snake's belly to see what was inside. It made him unable to believe that the poisonous red snake had just eaten a human. Qin Feng thought, in this cruel world, everyone has the chance to die, the only difference lies in how they die. The strong survive, and the weak perish, that's the rule of this world. Then he approached the eye he had extracted from the poisonous red snake earlier. This was the second time he obtained a talent ranked F, 2 talents automatically combined. The vision talent had been upgraded to rank E. He gained vision 20 times sharper than before. He had successfully evolved with the Analyze Eye. By activating the skill, he could see details from various angles. After hearing the system notification, Qin Feng said it seemed that if he found more of the same talent, there was a chance to develop the talent he had already extracted. Additionally, the chance of awakening talent skills increased. Analyze Eye was the first skill to successfully evolve. Unexpectedly, the eye analyzed details of the spiritual fruit, similar to advanced scanning devices in movies. With this skill, Qin Feng could discern many unknown things, feeling it would be advantageous in the future when he needed to gather existing resources. Qin Feng looked at the spirit flower he had seen earlier, approached it, and took the fruit on top of it. Shortly after, Qin Feng consumed it, feeling fortunate as he was the only one who could find that fruit. After consuming it, Qin Feng felt his whole body energized. The system said he had consumed the red phyton fruit, granting him 8 physical attributes and increasing his poison resistance by plus 100%. Qin Feng said wasn't the fruit equivalent to extracting 4 bodies of ferocious beasts? The red phyton fruit was excellent, it was a pity there was only one. He also wanted to know if the spirit grass had any other uses. With his eye, he examined the details of the red phyton flower. It was a type of spirit grass capable of absorbing celestial essence energy from the earth to grow. It grew 1 leaf per year, bore fruit in 7 years, called the red phyton fruit, and after harvesting the fruit, its leaves would wither, losing their value after a few days. Knowing this, Qin Feng felt it was strange to discard it, thus, he extracted the flower, obtaining essence from the spirit grass. By consuming it, he could gain 2 attributes at once. Qin Feng understood something capable of growing the red phyton fruit wouldn't be trash, it was equivalent to the bodies of ferocious beasts. After consuming the poisonous red snake, his combo ability had reached the 2-star limit. This surprised Qin Feng, his combo ability reached the 2-star limit so quickly. If he added 4 more skills, he might be able to solo 3 to 4 level 1 ferocious beasts. Qin Feng had decided that after extracting the last poisonous red snakes, he would leave that beginner grassland. He would go to a place with new ferocious beasts and become significantly stronger because he wanted to become the strongest in that world. However, unbeknownst to him, some stones rolled toward him quite forcefully. Qin Feng jumped to avoid the giant stones easily. Qin Feng was sure someone was secretly attacking him. He dodged and climbed up a tree to look around. Initially, Qin Feng thought it was a human, but it turned out to be the scent of a ferocious beast. It was a poisonous red snake, so he wasn't surprised that he never found it before. It was because the blood of the previous snake blocked the scent of other snakes. And the creature came when he needed it. A group of talents attempted to attack the poisonous red snake simultaneously, but they seemed overwhelmed as the snake moved fast, making it difficult for them to attack accurately. They then attacked the monster with all their might. Qin Feng, watching them from a distance, said he didn't expect to meet one of them there. If Qin Feng remembered correctly, one of the people in the group was Lei Ju, a rank D talent with electric control ability. In the 17 beginner villages, Wang Chang had died, leaving only 16 of them, and he was one of them. Before they left, weren't there 8 people on their team? But now, only 6 remained, it seemed they had died. Qin Feng knew Lei Ju was the main attacker, and the other 6 served as support, thus, the poisonous red snake became weaker, and sooner or later, the creature would die. Qin Feng had never used Analyze Eye on living ferocious beasts before, so he used it to see the details of what was there. Inside the information board, it said there was a possibility the ferocious beast would drop an item, but the chance was very low, the lift was too low. Then Qin Feng saw bright light coming from the snake, they had killed it. However, some members of Lei Ju's team felt their points weren't balanced, but Lei Ju felt it was fair according to their contributions. Descending from the tree and hearing that, Qin Feng said that was how the team distributed energy, which was good to encourage people to work together. Because one poisonous red snake had 40 points of energy, if divided evenly, each of them wouldn't get much. From a distance, Qin Feng could see Lei Ju's body was bright green, indicating he had leveled up. His team was surprised to learn that. According to them, it was quite extraordinary. That was the first time Qin Feng had seen a level 2 human, and with Analyze Eye, he wanted to know the difference between level 2 and level 1. After seeing that, it turned out Lei Ju's combo ability and his rank D talent should have reached almost 3 stars in combat ability. If Lei Ju soloed against level 1 ferocious beasts, he would have a 50% chance of winning. Although Qin Feng hadn't leveled up to level 2 yet, his combat ability rank was at the 2-star limit, equivalent to 4 stars. This meant he could easily defeat Lei Ju. Meanwhile, one of Lei Ju's team members said they should seek revenge because one of their team members was still inside the snake's stomach. Lei, unaware of this, then asked what happened. The member explained that during their exploration, they encountered 2 poisonous red snakes. Initially, they weren't their adversaries, so they decided to flee. However, one member was slow, and thus, was eaten by the snake. Hearing this, they sought revenge for their member and maintained their formation. Qin Feng, who overheard from a distance, finally knew that the person inside the snake's belly was one of Lei Ju's members. Despite this, the snake they were supposed to encounter had already been killed. One of Lei Ju's team members, an archer, sensed someone behind a tree and shot an arrow, narrowly missing Qin Feng's handsome face. This startled him as he almost got hit by the sharp arrow. Another member of Lei Ju's team asked Qin Feng to come out from behind the tree. Qin Feng thought the girl from Lei Ju's team seemed to have talent in enhanced hearing. With his hands raised, Qin Feng emerged from behind the tree, stating that they need not worry, as he was just a passerby. However, the girl inadvertently mentioned his name, although Qin Feng didn't know her. Lei Ju then asked if the girl knew Qin Feng, to which she replied that she didn't know him, only having seen his avatar in the chat channel. Qin Feng wondered how the girl could remember amidst more than 1,000 people chatting. Lu Yan, the girl, asked why Qin Feng was alone in the wild, knowing it was dangerous. Qin Feng sighed without answering, pondering if they could just leave, as he wanted to extract the snake. Lu Yan requested Lei Ju to let Qin Feng join their team, believing that more people increased their chances of survival. Lei Ju doubted this but then considered the vast gap between human combat ability and ferocious beasts. Cooperation was necessary. To maintain stability, he needed more reliable people to join him. Eventually, Lei Ju agreed but asked Qin Feng to demonstrate his attributes and talents. If they were not too bad, he would allow him to join. Lei Ju thought that even though he wanted to build his strength quickly, he couldn't force others to join his team and had to maintain a strong image. Lu Yan clarified Lei Ju's statement, asking Qin Feng to show his formation. She believed Lei Ju had a strong level 2 talent, so Qin Feng would be lucky to join them. Another member added that if Qin Feng joined Lei Ju, he would have a good life. Despite their persuasion, Qin Feng declined, preferring to walk alone. This surprised them all. Afterward, Qin Feng walked away. Though Lu Yan tried to stop him, Lei Ju asked her to let Qin Feng go. After some time, Lei Ju's team members continued discussing Qin Feng's refusal to join them. However, their conversation halted when they saw the dismembered poisonous red snake, along with one of their members dead. One member speculated it might be Lu Xian's doing, considering his talent and highest rank in the beginner village. However, Lu Xian's team had gone in the opposite direction. Then, they found blood from the snake, indicating it had been killed about 15 minutes prior. They noticed only one set of footprints, suggesting the snake had been killed with one blow, despite its strong defense. They concluded it must have been an expert, likely a solo hunter. Upon hearing this, Lu Yan remembered Qin Feng, as the characteristics matched, especially since he was nearby earlier. Suddenly, the system announced that someone in the beginner village had reached level 3, ranking in the top 100 strongest. Lei Ju's team saw Qin Feng on the list, reconsidering his ranking. They wondered if they had underestimated him. Meanwhile, Qin Feng knew he was ranked 47th. 4 to 5 hours had passed, and 8 people had reached level 2. Lu Xian had swiftly risen to level 3. Qin Feng felt he needed to teach them as well. The extraction of level 1 ferocious beasts in the beginner grassland had reached its limit. It was time to go and hunt. The system then announced rewards for beginners. The first to reach level 10 would receive a gold chest, the second a silver chest, and the third a bronze chest. Qin Feng found this rewarding. The top 100 reaching level 10 could get a chest without waiting for the exam to end, which he found quite beneficial. The system indicates that the chests are distributed to the lowest rank black steel, bronze rank, silver rank, gold rank, purple diamond rank, historic rank, and myth rank. The higher the rank of the chest, the better the prize. And the level up competition will begin soon. The first chest, which is the gold chest, is the prize. Qin Feng is confident he will take it, flying swiftly across the grassland. Qin Feng then fights against a wolf monster, although the wolf turns out to be quite strong, and he feels as if its head is too hard, like cutting iron. Even after using his talent skill, it still cannot be cut, so how can he kill the creature? Then the wolf monster thinks if a level 1 human dares to enter its territory and then attacks, it will surely tear him apart later. But why is the level 1 human much stronger than the humans at level 3? After that, the wolf monster starts to attack. Qin Feng thinks maybe people often say that history has a head of bronze and a back of iron, so its weak point should be at the waist and abdomen. And he feels it's a good opportunity. Until Qin Feng finally manages to stab the monster's abdomen through to its back, and finally, the monster falls defeated. He says it's the strongest monster he has ever encountered so far. Unfortunately, he is stronger than the monster. And afterward, he manages to kill the monster. The system informs him that he has killed a silver-backed wolf and gained 100 EXP. His level has also increased to 2. His strength attribute has increased by 10. His agility attribute has increased by 10. And he also gained 5 attributes. Qin Feng feels something unique when he levels up. It's like a power emanating from within him, all his wounds heal, and his mental strength also feels heightened. It's truly miraculous. He feels very lucky. Especially since he also received a chest. After getting the chest, he hopes to be given a rank 2 weapon or equipment. Then, upon opening it, a bright light shines forth, dazzling his eyes. The system informs Qin Feng that he has received a rank 2 weapon, the blood of war sword made from a titanium alloy, then fused with the extension blood of the wolf, and a sharp sword with added attack power, capable of inflicting a 100% wound tier. Qin Feng, after receiving the sword as a prize, feels that it's not bad, it's quite good. Because it's indeed a good sword, he no longer needs to struggle when facing ferocious beasts that have mutated. However, after that, a group of wolf monsters approaches. Qin Feng is sure that before the previous wolf monster dies, it managed to howl to call its pack there. Unfortunately, that timing was just right. Now it's time to test his new blood wolf of war sword. The wolf monsters try to sneak attack him. However, it doesn't affect Qin Feng. He swiftly fights and cuts down the wolves. Especially since after leveling up to level 2, he can feel his speed, strength, and physique are much stronger than before. At that moment, he needs less than a minute to kill 5 wolves at once, something he couldn't do at level 1 even if he risked his life. Qin Feng is slightly annoyed because he hasn't investigated the secrets of this place yet. However, it tells him a harsh reality. It's truly the real world. But even so, he will continue leveling up to become strong enough to survive in this brutal world. And also find a way to return to his world. Meanwhile, Lei Ju's team member praises him for killing the blood Feng rabbit. They consider it extraordinary even though it's just a lick. Then the system announces that Qin Feng, a beginner, has killed a level 1 mutated ferocious beast, completing the first blood, and gaining 1 prestige point. Prestige points are very valuable, as reaching certain targets can earn God's blessing. Only achieving first blood against a level 1 mutated beast can allow someone to gain prestige. Hearing this, Lei Ju's team members feel it's quite good because Qin Feng managed to kill a mutated beast alone, even though he ranks 47th and doesn't seem capable of killing a mutated ferocious beast alone. Could he have stolen the kill and taken the final blow? Lei Ju thinks that facing a mutated ferocious beast alone is dangerous, and he hopes Qin Feng doesn't get hurt. Other members say maybe the level 1 mutated ferocious beast isn't strong at all, he's just lucky. Others agree because if their boss encounters a level 1 mutated ferocious beast, he could kill it too. Then the system informs again that people with levels 1 and 2 were killed by mutated ferocious beasts. Lei Ju, hearing this, can't believe what he's been told. Mutated ferocious beasts will become very strong, and even level 2 humans will appear weak in front of them. Lei Ju thinks he was still arrogant because he thought he could kill a level 1 ferocious beast with his bare hands. He never expected that now someone who could kill a mutated ferocious beast alone would appear. He was too arrogant. Then the system board announced that Qin Feng's ranking had risen drastically, from originally being number 47 to now being in position 5 at level 2. Lei Ju's team members couldn't believe it. They questioned it, even suspecting that Qin Feng might have used EXP boosting pills, given the astonishing speed of his growth. Lei Ju then urged them all to continue hunting ferocious beasts, as they couldn't be left behind by Qin Feng. Meanwhile, Qin Feng felt elated by this development. He had killed a great number of ferocious beasts in a relatively short time. Then, a message appeared on the system board requesting assistance, as they had been attacked by ferocious beasts, and their boss was already dead. Their team was on the brink of destruction, and if not for his talent speed, he would surely have died too. The creatures that had attacked them were level 2 ferocious beasts. They were located to the south, 45 kilometers from the beginner village, and they were the only ones left. After reading this, Qin Feng stated that if he was on the southwest side of the beginner village, and if he ran at full speed towards the east, he could reach them in 5 minutes. The berserk wild boar Feng was a mutated ferocious beast from level 1. If he killed it, the strength he could gain might be 2 to 3 times more than that of a regular ferocious beast. It might even drop a chest. Let him get his equipment, as it was a great opportunity. Qin Feng then noticed a corpse there, indicating that the berserk wild boar Feng was nearby. The smell of blood not only filled the air but also the foul stench of the berserk wild boar Feng was present, along with another scent, like that of a blood Feng rabbit. Different ferocious beasts wouldn't gather together at that time, making him question his instinct. However, before that, he needed to extract more and follow that scent later. But after successfully extracting it, instead of a talent, Qin Feng received an agility attribute. So Qin Feng tried again and failed immediately. The last time he felt like this was when he reached the extraction limit of level 1 ferocious beasts. But what was the reason for his failure this time? Qin Feng was puzzled, his extraction skill seemed ineffective. What was happening? Then he hoped the system would give him some clues. Or perhaps he already possessed that talent and its level was lower than his, so he couldn't extract it? However, he ignored it and accepted what he currently had. He had obtained Physique Enhance, which was already very good. Among the 4 attributes, for strength, he had rank D Berserk Strength, and his agility also had talent, rank E Speed Enhance. His mind had Vision Enhance rank E and Smell Enhance rank F. He had Physique Enhance rank E for the physique attribute. All 4 attributes had corresponding skill talents, now he had no advantages. Then Qin Feng saw dragged tracks, feeling strange that the monster was dragging Lu Yunchang's body. Don't tell him the monster wanted to eat his body. Qin Feng wouldn't let that happen because, regardless, Lu Yunchang was rank D. If he found his corpse, he could obtain his rank D talent. Qin Feng ran fast before the monster could eat his body. Then he arrived at the monster field and saw an underground prison where he felt extreme danger. Qin Feng was sure that, no matter how strong the forest boar monster was, with his strength, he could kill it. Then, from below, a snake monster emerged, even more dangerous than before, already 5-starred, far different from the wolf monster, which was only 4-starred. Moreover, the snake monster had a poison spray. Qin Feng had never faced a situation like this before. The snake monster then attacked Qin Feng again, and this time, its poison hit his eyes. At that moment, the ferocious beasts immediately surrounded Qin Feng. The young man felt his vision blur. He realized the poisonous mist had damaged his sight. Although Qin Feng couldn't see, he was sure he wouldn't die there. And he continued to attack those monsters with the strength he possessed. Qin Feng managed to fend off several beasts attacking him despite his blurry vision. Now, only one beast remained. Qin Feng wondered where the monster could be, remaining vigilant in all directions. He quickly turned around as he suspected the 10 rings of poisonous snake would attack him from behind. Although unable to see, Qin Feng still possessed a keen sense of smell and healing talent, so he yelled at the snake monster not to underestimate him. With full strength, Qin Feng leaped onto the head of the snake monster, declaring that he wouldn't lose or die in a place like this. Finally, the last monster was defeated, and the system notified Qin Feng that he had successfully slain the level 110 rings of a poisonous snake, earning 110 EXP and receiving a dropped black chest as a reward. Qin Feng rested briefly against the snake's corpse, realizing how close he had come to death. Were it not for his enhanced physique talent, he would surely have perished at the snake's hands. The system congratulated Qin Feng on reaching level 3, enhancing his strength, agility, physique, and mind. He also received 5 attribute points. As his eyes, previously affected by poison, gradually healed, Qin Feng laughed heartily, having forgotten a crucial aspect of leveling up. The body instantly returned to its optimal condition. Qin Feng laughed in satisfaction upon realizing this fact. After recovering, Qin Feng glanced at the hologram screen, surprised to find a chest dropping after killing the 10 rings of poisonous snakes. Opening the treasure chest, he found a valuable prize. He then noticed a dimensional gate within the cave. Recalling the 3 ferocious snakes that had previously attacked him and disappeared into the dimensional gate, Qin Feng entered it, confident in his current strength. However, he sensed a more formidable presence behind the ferocious beasts. Entering the vast cave beyond the dimensional gate, Qin Feng observed numerous spirit grass and level 1 spirit grass. Yet, he also noticed the presence of ferocious beasts and a terrifying monster seated amidst a pile of skulls. The system informed Qin Feng of entering a rank channel temporarily, with another space world unavailable. However, personal status and chat channels remained accessible. Qin Feng activated Analyze Eyes to examine the strange creature before him, a dead human with level 4 and a specialization in hidden dark energy, awaiting fresh flesh for rebirth. The system warned of its extreme malevolence, surprising Qin Feng with its combat rating of level 6. Uncertain of its skills and talents, Qin Feng realized the creature's actual combat rating could surpass 7 stars, especially with the assistance of the 3 ferocious beasts. Realizing he would be at a severe disadvantage if he fought them head-on, Qin Feng decided to leave and return stronger to challenge the undead. However, the corpse suddenly opened its eyes, fixating on Qin Feng, and declared him its prey, intending to use his flesh for rebirth. Qin Feng swiftly dodged the large green chains thrown by the corpse, recognizing them as its skills. He evaded attacks from both the chains and the ferocious beasts, feeling increasingly cornered. Ultimately, Qin Feng was captured by the corpse's chains. The corpse gloated, claiming Qin Feng's living body was a divine blessing. Qin Feng struggled to break free, realizing he would die if he couldn't escape. Utilizing his inner strength, he shattered the chains and dispatched the ferocious beasts one by one. The corpse, witnessing this feat, questioned how Qin Feng could resist its control with only a level 3 mind. Qin Feng, now standing before the monster, attempted to stab it but ended up wounded and kneeling. The monster boasted of its unstoppable power, but Qin Feng, with a small smile, declared he would allocate all attributes to his mind, breaking free from the monster's mental control. The corpse monster said he could feel Qin Feng's resistance and struggle. That's why he liked Qin Feng. The corpse monster said he would tear apart Qin Feng's soul and spirit. Then he would throw them into the fires of hell and burn them to ashes. The corpse monster summoned a wild boar with curved fangs to kill Qin Feng. With one collision with the wild boar monster, Qin Feng was thrown far, crashing into the cave wall. Nevertheless, Qin Feng still managed to distribute all attributes to the main attribute, increasing it by 10 points. The corpse monster realized that Qin Feng's mind had become stronger. Qin Feng felt lucky because after killing the 10 rings of poisonous snakes, he managed to obtain an item from a low-level storage ring. Even if Qin Feng dropped the Blood Wolf of War sword, he could still summon other weapons whenever he wanted. With a single sword, he blocked the attacks of the bear monster. While thinking, he decided to first kill the 2 ferocious beasts that were bothering him before dealing with the corpse monster. Qin Feng realized that several times the corpse monster had tried to control his mind but had always failed. The corpse monster asked how Qin Feng could escape his mind control. However, Qin Feng was still not a match for the corpse monster. Qin Feng felt relieved because he not only had to fight against the mind power of the corpse monster but also against the 2 ferocious beasts that were trying to attack him simultaneously. The corpse monster was surprised that Qin Feng could escape his mind control. Qin Feng felt grateful because after killing the 10 rings of a poisonous snake, he took its venom gland. So, the poison could help him withstand mind attacks. At that moment, Qin Feng took the venom gland poison and applied it to his sword, hoping that someday it would help him in future battles. Qin Feng released a tremendous amount of energy from his body, saying that he had recently learned that the corpse monster couldn't move. Now, the 3 mutated ferocious beasts were dead. The youth challenged the corpse monster, asking who would protect it. The corpse monster panicked and continued to say that this was highly impossible. He accused Qin Feng of using some filthy methods like a despicable human. Without much response to the corpse monster's words, Qin Feng immediately swung his sword to destroy the monster. The system appeared and announced that the youth had successfully killed the corpse monster, gaining 210 EXP. Qin Feng also gained 10 judgment points. The system congratulated the youth for completing the hidden test from the system and becoming a level 1 judge. The system reminded that judges could kill evil creatures that violated soul rules as vacationers. And only one of many people could obtain this title. With this, Qin Feng's body was filled with energy as all his strength, abilities, physique, and mind increased. After reading the system notification, Qin Feng finally understood that the corpse monster was indeed truly evil. No wonder the analysis eyes gave it the nickname of being very evil. Now, Qin Feng understood that he only needed to kill evil things to earn judgment points. But the system never explained to him if judgment points could be used. Nevertheless, Qin Feng would try to think positively that judgment points would surely be useful someday. Qin Feng almost died in this battle, but the loot seemed great this time. No wonder the gods said that global killing had different dangers and benefits. The system reappeared and informed about the God Seal skill, meaning when having the same talent, players could combine them using this skill. Qin Feng gained a rank 3 skill, Tame Beast. Knowing that he obtained a rank 3 skill, Tame Beast, made Qin Feng smile satisfactorily. Because after learning this skill, he could command a group of ferocious beasts to hunt on their own and grind EXP very easily. Now, Qin Feng had managed to obtain a green gem from the corpse monster. But strangely, the crystal was not suitable for activation in the current condition. The system appeared and gave the first warning about the awakened talent rank D, which was Mind Enhance. If taken simultaneously with the Tame Beast pill, the player could activate the Tame Beast skill. Even the sixth sense could only be activated after activating the Tame Beast skill. Qin Feng felt distressed hearing this. He realized that after learning this skill condition, it would be slightly difficult to achieve. Although level 10 was low, it also required a talent-enhanced rank D. Qin Feng wondered if the corpse monster had pills or a recipe for Tame Beast pills. Qin Feng immediately rummaged through the corpse monster's storage place to find Tame Beast pills. But in the end, he became furious because they were not found anywhere. Instead, Qin Feng mostly found useless items. Finally, Qin Feng could only sigh heavily and try to start extracting. Quickly, Qin Feng managed to extract all abilities from all the dead creatures in the cave. Qin Feng realized that the corpse monster's hand was of a mind-related type. Next time, he would have to be careful with such mind attacks because they were more difficult to deal with than brainless ferocious beasts. Qin Feng immediately tried to use the mind to enhance talent. With this ability, Qin Feng successfully extracted all the god grass plants inside the cave. Qin Feng was relieved because his experiment was successful. With this mind enhancement, Qin Feng could directly control the storage ring to store and harvest all the plants at once. All of this became much more convenient for Qin Feng. Qin Feng thought that in the next battle, he might be able to control this technique to summon a sword. This way, he could win using unexpected attacks like this. However, Qin Feng was still very disappointed because if he had succeeded in obtaining the tame beast pill, then he should have been able to directly control the ferocious beast instead of controlling dead things like grass and fruits. Qin Feng suspected that the dead body in the cave must be Lu Yunchang, who was killed by the mutated wild boar previously shown in the system notification. Qin Feng remembered that a person's talent was related to fire. So Qin Feng wanted to try to extract that person's talent. In this way, Qin Feng successfully extracted the fire control talent and also the speed boost talent. Qin Feng believed that this person's talent was not bad either. With the current speed, this speed booster could also double Qin Feng's speed. And eventually, he even had the offensive talent to control fire. Now Qin Feng could create fire from his fingertips. The young man said that in the future, he might not need to fight in close combat anymore and could control fire using long-range attacks. It is even possible that the places he passes through in the future could be burned by his fire ability. Qin Feng immediately used their talent to burn the large piece of meat. While eating the meat, the young man thought that the recent chat channel had been so lively, everyone was talking about leveling up. It seems that the beginner village 911 has a leveling up competence under the push of the gods. Someone in another hunting spot laughed satisfactorily and arrogantly said that he had now reached level 3 and returned to rank 9. People in the chat room immediately expressed their admiration for the man with the ponytail who had reached level 3. With this notification, the beginner village had 10 level 3 lords. Someone in the chat room said it was difficult to say there were 10 people because after Qin Feng reached level 3, his name changed color to gray. And it was certain that if his position continued to decrease in the level rank, people in the chat room started to worry if something happened to Qin Feng. Meanwhile, as he ate the meat, Qin Feng mistakenly answered in his heart the question from the person in the chat room that he was not dead, he was only in another space world. Qin Feng said that today he had been running around, fighting, always restoring energy in a safe place first, and then continuing the hunt. Qin Feng cut another piece of meat and devoured it while thinking that the meat tasted very delicious and juicy. After eating the meat, Qin Feng managed to obtain a cooked food physique as an additional one every time he took a bite. Qin Feng smiled happily because his energy could be quickly restored just by eating meat. A system notification appeared, informing all residents of the beginner village that Qin Feng had been found and he was eating cooked meat, which could restore a little energy. Because this young man found it first, Qin Feng would be rewarded with 1 reputation point. All other participants were excited when they read this notification. They were amazed that just by eating cooked meat, energy could be restored. They now realized why Qin Feng's name turned gray. He had been enjoying life by eating meat. Many participants began to envy Qin Feng. They also wanted to restore their energy by eating something delicious. Another notification from the system appeared, saying that just by eating cooked meat, only drinking hot water could restore energy but eating something cold would not be effective. Everyone was confused because not everyone had fire. So they wondered how they could eat cooked food. Seeing everyone in the chat room start to talk excitedly about cooked meat, Qin Feng began to think if he could sell the meat in this system. Qin Feng tried to put the new product into the space trade channel. He wrote that every 3 kilograms of cooked meat would be exchanged for 1 ferocious beast corpse. Beginner Qin Feng was the first person to use the space trade channel and gained 1 prestige point. After reading the notification, many participants wanted to exchange the new ferocious beasts they had obtained with Qin Feng's cooked meat. The exchange happened immediately. The participants were amazed because even large items they owned could be easily exchanged by the system. Some other participants began to think about selling their ferocious beasts for Qin Feng's cooked meat to restore energy. Qin Feng laughed heartily and said that all of this was extraordinary because this way he didn't need to look for ferocious beasts anymore. And everyone would work for him. Meanwhile, a figure named Lu Yuan, who had just reached level 3, stated that his rank of 13 was higher than Qin Feng's. So he asked to be sent 6 kilograms of cooked meat for free, and then he would remember Qin Feng's kindness. Hearing the man's words, other participants in the chat room considered him arrogant and shameless. Qin Feng thought the young man was not important. Then, casually, he announced in the chat room that the amount of cooked meat he had was limited. So whoever was quick would get it. Everyone was excited because this was the first time Qin Feng had said something. They considered Qin Feng very humble. Then they all rushed to focus on finding level 2 ferocious beast corpses to exchange them quickly for Qin Feng's cooked meat. Meanwhile, while Qin Feng sat leisurely, he pondered using hunger as a sales tactic, which would make him more akin to a black-hearted merchant. Inside the cave, a bald man also announced that he was selling cooked meat. He would exchange 50 kilograms of cooked meat for 1 level 1 equipment. After reading the announcement, Qin Feng shook his head in disbelief, realizing he had just described himself as the black-hearted merchant. He didn't expect someone to be greedier than himself. Of course, other participants in the chat room were irritated upon hearing the announcement. They thought the person making this announcement must have just woken up from their sleep. They commented that if they could obtain rank 1 equipment, they would rather keep and use it themselves than sell it. Even though they were eager to buy cooked meat, they would prefer to buy it from Lord Qin Feng. Hearing the conversation, Qin Feng immediately announced that he was selling rank 1 beginner weapons, exchangeable for 3 spirit grasses or 1 spirit fruit. Alternatively, they could be exchanged for other rank 1 equipment. All members of Village 911 in the chat room were excited about Qin Feng's offer. They wondered where Qin Feng had gotten so many weapons from. Some speculated that Qin Feng had a crafting skill, so all those weapons were made by him. Everyone considered crafting skills in the game to be very useful. Some participants also wanted to exchange their spirit fruits for Qin Feng's rank 1 equipment. Now Qin Feng had obtained a rank 1 equipment, a strength-boosting bracelet exchanged for Qin Feng's rank 1 steel equipment. The young man was very happy because people were so quick to trade for his rank 1 equipment. After wearing the bracelet, Qin Feng's strength increased by 7. Now he had a total of 4 attributes. Previously, his lowest attribute was strength, and with this bracelet, he was able to cover his weakness. Now Qin Feng had a rank 1 strength bracelet and a rank 1 storage ring. He also had a rank 2 Blood Wolf of War sword. He also had 3 pieces of equipment. With this, no one in Village 911's beginner village could be compared to Qin Feng. Suddenly, a loud explosion was heard in the middle of the forest, and the system announced that beginner village number 137 had forcibly activated a bet with beginner village number 911. The bet activated was a resource bet. A resource bet meant there was a downside, and all resources would be halved. And everyone would lose 20 attributes. For the winner, all resources would double, and everyone would gain 20 attributes. This bet would be won if one of the beginner villages had someone who had reached level 5. Additionally, all villages would receive 50 attributes and 1 silver chest. Now the 2 beginner village channels began to connect. And for the time being, the bet between these 2 villages would be hidden. That was the end of the long system announcement. Qin Feng appeared very surprised when he read the system notification stating that the chat rooms of the 2 beginner villages had been successfully merged. Now, the inhabitants of both villages could enter chat channels on each side but were not authorized to speak. With resources halved, the leveling speed would soon decrease, and most people wouldn't be able to pass the test. Participants from both villages realized that the challenging village was up to something wicked and shameless. Nevertheless, a player from the opposing village asked who was the fastest to level up in Village 911. Someone answered that the strongest in Village 911 was Mr. Lu Xian. So, the challenging village requested Mr. Lu Xian to bet against Mr. Lu Xuan to reach the specified level, thus ensuring their victory. The vampire figure on the opposing side claimed his name to be the noble Baron Edward. As a high-ranking noble vampire, he had reached level 4. With arrogance, this figure stated he would surely bring victory to their village. Instantly, the village residents cheered upon hearing the Baron's words. They understood that the Baron chose the nighttime to activate this bet because it favored him greatly. Baron Edward chuckled with satisfaction, realizing his followers were very clever. Vampire race was the strongest at night, he could even solo a level 4 ferocious beast. Qin Feng appeared shocked to hear that the blood-sucking monster had been living in the Blue Star area all along. He believed that all the inhabitants of Village 911 were people from the dragon country of Blue Star. It seemed the gods intentionally placed people from the same country in the same beginner village. Qin Feng wondered why the gods did this and what their purpose was. A system notification appeared, stating that the bet could now commence. It also informed about the level 1 to 10 reminder map of all ferocious beast territories being opened as bet rewards. Qin Feng suspected initially it was just a fight between beginner villages and others. Little did he know it would escalate into a battle between nations and even continents. Watching the flames flicker in his hands, this youth said regardless of what would happen, the most important thing now was the resource bet between the two beginner villages. Especially since Baron Edward could kill a level 4 ferocious beast alone. Qin Feng's leveling progress was indeed faster than Lu Xian's but slower than Baron Edward's. This young man realized that if he wanted to reach level 5 the fastest, he had to head to areas with high-level ferocious beasts and hunt them. So, this young man ran as fast as he could with his abilities. He thought himself fortunate to have enhanced vision, allowing him to see things in the dark as if it were daylight. Improved smell enabled him to detect ferocious beast tracks in the dark and easily evade them. When the resource bet began, the god provided an additional map of ferocious beast areas. Qin Feng aimed to reach the accurate areas where powerful ferocious beasts resided. Finally, Qin Feng arrived at the level 4 ferocious beast area, where many cat-like monsters roamed. Swiftly, this youth slaughtered the cat monsters. But suddenly, a half-human monster appeared and startled him. Luckily, Qin Feng had quick reflexes, guessing the monster without a scratch. The system appeared and announced that Qin Feng had successfully killed the golden-eyed beast man ferocious beast. Approaching the monster's corpse, Qin Feng shook it gently. This youth said he was initially shocked because the monster suddenly leaped out and frightened him. The monster's speed was excessive, so Qin Feng's sense of smell missed it, allowing the monster to sneak up and attack him. Luckily, it was only a level 5 ferocious beast. Qin Feng felt lucky. Then, this young man quickly extracted the monster's body, gaining 2 strength attributes. Qin Feng held the monster's large hand and said it was the first time he had seen a half-human ferocious beast. He wondered if, after reaching level 5 or higher, ferocious beasts no longer remained purely in animal form and gradually transformed into human forms. While pondering, this young man suddenly felt an aura and smelled a very familiar scent. He looked around and asked if there could be spiritual grass and spiritual fruit nearby. Qin Feng walked into the forest area, realizing ahead was the level 6 ferocious beast area. So, it surely had many high-level spiritual fruits. This young man became even more curious if he would encounter ferocious beasts more human-like. But if it was a corpse-like ferocious beast, the situation would be more troublesome. Qin Feng tried to think positively that there was nothing ahead, so he would go to find the spiritual fruits. Even though he knew places with spiritual fruits would have ferocious beasts. So, he planned to first kill the guarding animals, then take the spiritual fruits, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. True enough, after a few steps, this youth saw spiritual plants guarded by a terrifying monster resembling a bear. With true eyes, Qin Feng saw the dragon blood fruit spiritual plant. It was a rank 2 spiritual plant. It was not poisonous and consuming it could enhance agility and physique. The second effect was that after consuming this plant, one could gain some genuine dragon blood. However, the ferocious beast guarding this plant was a level 6 bear king, very cruel and bloodthirsty. Qin Feng knew that king-ranked ferocious beasts had a 60% decrease in level. If the system hadn't informed him, this would have been a tough battle. Especially since this ferocious beast was one of the top-ranked monsters. Qin Feng tried to leap from the top of a tree and attack the monster from behind, but the monster managed to turn its body in time and threw this youth's body several meters away. Qin Feng realized his carelessness and cursed inwardly. He just realized that his opponent, who was large-bodied, was very fast, so he couldn't dodge his attacks at all. The monster asked Qin Feng not to disturb it because it didn't have time to waste playing with Qin Feng. The 3-headed bear urged Qin Feng to leave now to save his life. Qin Feng thought the simultaneous speech of the 3-headed bear monster was terrifying and repulsive. He repeated the monster's words to urge him to leave the place to save their lives instead. Feeling mocked by a level 4 human made the bear monster furious, and it wanted to tear Qin Feng's body apart. Without much talk, the bear monster immediately attacked Qin Feng. Fortunately, the young man managed to evade and leap just in time. From an extraordinary height, the young man leaped and struck one of the bear monster's heads. As soon as one of the bear monster's heads was severed, the bear monster screamed hysterically because its 3rd sibling died. The bear monster continued to curse at Qin Feng and vowed to kill him. Meanwhile, Qin Feng appeared very exhausted because he realized his opponent's neck was tougher than he thought. The relentless attack he just launched only managed to cut off one of the bear monster's heads. Suddenly, the bear monster used the berserk skill, making it go berserk for 10 minutes. Qin Feng realized the bear monster was using Dragon Roar. Although its level was very low, the young man suspected the bear monster obtained it after being around dragon blood for a long time. The bear monster said Qin Feng had made it angry, so now he would surely die at the hands of the bear monster. But Qin Feng leaped high, and from that extraordinary height, the young man directed a strong attack again. Qin Feng knew that in the berserk state, the ferocious beast Bear King became even stronger, so he might not be able to cut its neck. Indeed, although the young man's attack was strong enough, he failed to cut off the monster's head and instead fell victim to the bear monster's attack. Right in front of Qin Feng's face, the bear monster said that humans seemed to have overestimated themselves. No matter what tricks they used, a level 4 human couldn't defeat a monster that had reached level 6. Now, the bear monster would tell Qin Feng the consequences he would face for making it angry. Just before the bear monster could tear Qin Feng apart, the young man drew his fire sword to fend off the bear monster. With several swings of his sword, Qin Feng managed to kill the bear monster, and now the young man could breathe a little easier. Fortunately, the War of the Blood Wolf sword had a fire attribute, but breaking through the bear monster's defense made this battle very difficult. Qin Feng realized that facing a level 6 ferocious beast was harder than facing a mutated one. The young man almost died on the spot. The good thing was he could immediately extract some attributes from the bear monster. But as the young man approached the bear monster, he realized that the system notification indicating he had successfully killed the ferocious beast Bear King had not yet appeared. This meant the bear monster had not been destroyed. Just as the young man thought so, he felt an attack from behind. Fortunately, Qin Feng managed to dodge in time. Finally, the bear's head was burned with Qin Feng's fire sword. Only then did the system appear and announce that Qin Feng had successfully killed the rampaging level 6 bear monster. Since Qin Feng's hunt was successful, he gained 500 points. Because Qin Feng had hunted a level 6 king beast, the young man also earned 2 honor points. Since honor points were accumulated directly, Qin Feng had already collected 6 honor points. Because Qin Feng had successfully killed a king-level monster, he would receive a bronze treasure box. This bronze treasure box contained a 98% chance of obtaining level 2 items and a 2% chance of obtaining level 3 items. As he received his treasure box, Qin Feng realized the creature could still live even though its head had been severed. The young man realized that hunting a rampaging level 6 king bear this time was truly an unexpected experience. But this monster also reminded him of the stronger beasts in this world that would be even more difficult to kill at each higher level. Qin Feng realized he couldn't relax until he became stronger. As the treasure box opened, the young man obtained a level 2 item, a king bear battle armor. A battle robe from the king bear that had 25% defense, 100% fire resistance, and 100% ice resistance. Qin Feng was delighted that his defense increased by 25%, along with the increase in fire and ice resistance attributes, which he considered a very valuable level 2 item. Afterward, Qin Feng immediately extracted the bear monster. The system appeared and informed the young man that blood evolution could awaken blood power, increasing overall speed and defense by 30%. With the talent of blood evolution, the ability to combine the blood of gods and demons could be easily obtained. At this moment, Qin Feng realized why the king bear had been guarding the dragon blood fruit until he didn't want to fight when Qin Feng appeared. Because this ability of his was like a valuable treasure that Qin Feng would surely guard carefully. As the young man glanced at the dragon blood fruit tree, suddenly his chest felt choked, and a golden dragon appeared, saying it would swallow Qin Feng directly, or roast him first, just like humans enjoyed with them. The large golden dragon gripped Qin Feng tightly, intending to crush him like this. In a desperate situation, the young man realized he had only eaten one dragon blood fruit, yet he felt such a hallucination. Qin Feng refused to be controlled by hallucinations, so with all his might, the young man bit the body of the large dragon. The dragon immediately roared in pain and screamed to Qin Feng that it was a real dragon. A real dragon that could teach him the secrets of true dragons. Even teach him Dragon Chi Sword, Dragon Roar, Dragon Aura, and other great techniques. But Qin Feng didn't care whether it was a real dragon or not, he still bit the dragon's body with all his might and was determined to eat it. Only then did this young man realize and become convinced that he had successfully defeated the spirit of the second-level dragon fruit. The system appeared and stated that this young man had successfully consumed the dragon blood fruit. As a result, his blood had been strengthened by 5 points of strength, 5 points of agility, and 5 points of body formation. With this, Qin Feng had awakened a clot of dragon blood power, increased body formation to level 7, and agility by 6. With the help of this dragon fruit power, the player's blood developed into true dragon blood. Qin Feng smiled as he read the notification and realized that the people of the dragon race were descendants of true dragons with a little talent, evolving blood with a little luck. Only with a clot of true dragon blood like this could one be obtained. The young man realized his whole body felt warm after eating the dragon blood fruit, so he wanted to sleep. But he realized he couldn't sleep now, as Qin Feng was almost reaching level 5. He only needed one more beast. As the young man opened the hologram screen and wanted to check on other players' progress first, suddenly there was a large monster lurking behind him. Meanwhile, the chat room was very busy because Boss Lu was almost reaching level 4, bringing them one step closer to victory. While everyone in the chat room was wondering how much progress he could have made by now, the Vampire Baron was boasting because he was at level 4 and would soon reach level 5 before midday. This vampire ordered his people to wait for his imminent victory. Some of his followers were delighted and immediately praised Baron Edward. They thought this almost nobleman was truly the strongest and most admirable figure. They were sure that the weak people of the dragon race would surely cry and fall to the ground in failure. Until finally, the system appeared and said one of the rookie village residents, number 911, named Qin Feng, had successfully led and reached level 5. Thus, the rookie residents of number 911 won the resource betting round. Quickly, all the residents of Pamulang village number 911 received 20 attribute points for free as a reward for winning the bet. Seeing this, all the residents of village 911 were very happy because Qin Feng had won the bet. Even some residents began to wonder because suddenly a very large mountain appeared before them and many Bloodfang rabbit monsters appeared to attack them. Fortunately, because Qin Feng had won the bet, these pressured residents of village 911 managed to gain 29 attribute points, so they could strengthen their weapons and survive against those monsters. At the same time, in village 137, all the members of the rookie village had lost 20 of their attribute points. Their resources were automatically halved because they lost the bet. Instantly, everyone cursed the Vampire Baron to go to hell. But this noble vampire was still confident he would seek revenge and suck all the blood of the people around him until they met Satan. Because of the anger involved, all the residents of village 137 wanted to kill Baron Edward. Leaving the commotion in village 137, Qin Feng received a notification from the system because he had successfully led and won the bet, entitling him to 30 honor points. Even this young man managed to receive a silver treasure chest as a reward. The large tiger monster that had been lurking around Qin Feng had been killed with just one blow without him even looking back. With ease, this young man thanked the monster for offering itself as an experience booster and giving him the final push to reach level 5. With this, Qin Feng immediately utilized the monster and extracted it. Suddenly, someone sent a private message to Qin Feng, saying they had just found a resource betting token. The young man wanted to exchange this token for a very beautiful level 1 iron sword. Getting such exchange, Qin Feng would not pass it up. After the exchange, the young man realized that from now on, the initiative would be in his hands, and he would not need to rush to high-level beast areas to hunt like this again. The system appeared and explained that the resource betting token would only appear once in each rookie village. And only the strongest person in the village had the right to use it. After the token was used, if won, the prize would be doubled, and if lost, the punishment would be doubled. After receiving the token, Qin Feng realized the previous owner wanted to sell it because not only were the usage requirements heavy but the risk of punishment would also be doubled. After that, people in the chat room started busy asking Qin Feng to challenge other rookie villages. Qin Feng thought this over and realized he had gained a lot of honor points after leading everyone to victory. The young man did a live broadcast and said that when morning came, when everyone had recovered, he would immediately start his bet. Hearing Qin Feng's words, everyone cheered happily and thought Qin Feng was a smart leader. They would support whatever decision this new boss made and prepare for tomorrow's match. Qin Feng himself thought he wasn't a smart person. He postponed the bet because he was already very tired and wanted to rest first. With his current energy, even if he didn't sleep for 3 days and 3 nights, he wouldn't be tired. But the real goal was to delve into the most dangerous place, the level 10 beast area, and then start his resource bet the next day. While attacking the monsters flying in the sky, this young man thought level 10 monsters were the most dangerous, but they also provided a lot of energy points. So this was the fastest way to level up, making his chances of winning even greater. In the night when this young man was already tired, he even managed to hunt down a level 6 night owl, gaining 220 energy points. Qin Feng realized that the energy points generated from low-level beasts were likely insufficient to obtain a treasure chest. So, after clearing this area, he would soon move to the level 10 beast area. Upon reaching the vast desert area, the youth felt something strange because the level 10 beast area marked on the map was now where he stood. But even if he used his scent talent, Qin Feng still couldn't track any monsters around him. The youth even opened the hologram screen, wondering what was happening in this area. He wondered if his system was malfunctioning or if there were repairs or malfunctions. While he was seriously pondering, a large hole suddenly appeared right under Qin Feng's feet. The youth fell, feeling increasingly peculiar as if he were disappearing from the air. He became increasingly frustrated because there were no walls at all, so he couldn't utilize friction to withstand this dreadful falling sensation. Qin Feng needed to think quickly to stop this falling force. Otherwise, his body would be shattered into pieces. Even if he didn't become numb when landing, his body would surely feel like it was in hell. Thus, the youth promptly used his fire skills to levitate in the air. At this moment, Qin Feng saw the forest area around him and began to sense the presence of a powerful monster he had never felt before. Qin Feng looked around, wondering if this was the level 10 beast area. Apart from the presence of beasts, the youth also smelled a very strong stench of carcasses, making him nauseous. The stench was so intense that he couldn't even determine the location of the level 10 beast. Qin Feng tried to touch the statue nearby to check if this area was an illusion or something similar. From the outside, this place looked similar to beginner village number 911. If Qin Feng were to guess randomly, he suspected this place might be an overlooked beginner village. If his guess was correct, suppose the remaining beginners from number 911 failed to fulfill their tasks, would they end up like this village? Qin Feng commented that heaven was truly fair but cruel. Everyone had the opportunity to level up and gain strength, but once they fell, they would disappear to the lowest point. Suddenly, a pack of dog-headed monster troops appeared, shouting at Qin Feng, saying that this was not an area to enter. They introduced themselves as the guardians of that place. Whether beast or human, once they entered this place, the only thing left for them would be death. The human dog-headed troops asked Qin Feng to prepare himself for death. The system appeared and informed Qin Feng that they were mutant-class soldier warriors. These creatures were higher than level 15, to the extent that the system couldn't even identify their strength level. Qin Feng was stunned reading the information about the strength of those dog-headed creatures. Qin Feng concluded that he didn't know how to get out of that place, so he could only try. And the chance of a treasure chest appearing reached 10% if he managed to defeat one of these dog-headed monsters. It was clear that this reward was very tempting for Qin Feng. Immediately, Qin Feng drew his sword, nicknamed the Wind Scar, his trusted sword with 100% speed, 30% armor penetration, and 100% wound recovery. Qin Feng hoped that the sword he obtained from the silver treasure chest could give him the strength to help him get rid of these monsters. And so, the fierce battle began. Qin Feng advanced against the monster. He leaped from one rock to another, trying to evade the attacks from the spear-wielding, dog-headed monster. Qin Feng realized they had underestimated him, sending individuals one by one to fight him. He appeared overwhelmed facing this single monster, having to utilize multiple skills at once. Nonetheless, Qin Feng aimed to show them the consequences of underestimating him. Some observing dog monsters at the edge began to wonder if their sibling needed assistance because the human opponent seemed formidable. Someone beside them reassured them not to worry as their fellow brother had defeated over 10 stronger humans than Qin Feng. One of the dog monster packs even assessed that their sibling seemed to be toying with the human. As their sibling visibly lowered their combat sharpness, revealing vulnerabilities, Qin Feng saw an opportunity. Then Qin Feng would be obliterated. At that critical moment, Qin Feng was in dire straits. He was brought down by the claws of the dog monster directly above his fallen head. The dog monster acknowledged Qin Feng's talent but stated they no longer had time to play with him. Thus, this was the end for Qin Feng. The dog monster raised its spear high for a final strike, but suddenly a sword flew from its back, piercing through its back and into its chest. The system emerged, announcing that Qin Feng had successfully killed a mutant-class Hellhound warrior. With this, Qin Feng earned 15 judgment points. After the dog monster fell, Qin Feng attempted to rise, telling the remaining dog monsters that he wouldn't waste a second in combat. Especially now that he had acquired the talent of manipulating willpower and controlling the undead. Qin Feng immediately extracted the dog monster's corpse, obtaining a rank D talent, Darkness Manipulation, triggering the emergence of a new talent called Hellfire. Since Qin Feng had successfully killed a Hellhound warrior, he was entitled to a fragment of the Darkness Seal. Thus, the young man received the half-circle sector while contemplating how he had trained like a madman to learn weapon usage. Now, after rigorous training and agile movements, he could nearly kill without touching. Seeing this, the other dog monsters became restless, itching to kill Qin Feng. However, they had to restrain themselves as it wasn't the right time. Qin Feng sensed something peculiar about the dog monsters. They were too relaxed watching their comrade being killed. Qin Feng began to wonder if he hadn't truly killed the dog monster. But the system had already appeared, notifying him that he had successfully killed it. As Qin Feng turned around, the dog monster was already standing, opening its mouth to release a powerful fireball. Fortunately, Qin Feng managed to leap aside just in time, otherwise, he would have been roasted alive. The other dog monsters approached their called sibling and remarked that his vigilance had worsened compared to before. The called sibling casually stated that he hadn't encountered humans for a long time, so he was slightly careless earlier. Qin Feng muttered in his heart, realizing he had underestimated the revolting dog-headed monster's abilities. The system emerged, reminding us that the lost beginner village had connected with hundreds of thousands of other beginner villages. These beginner villages often appeared at midnight and disappeared before noon. From this, Qin Feng realized that as long as he possessed the darkness illumination, everyone had a chance to enter. Qin Feng resolved to meet the dog-headed monster again when he became strong enough. Just as he thought that a large centipede monster appeared behind him. Qin Feng sang a silly tune as the situation repeated itself. The monster appearing this time was a level 12 sand centipede with a combat level of 15 stars. Its skills were extremely venomous, and its hearing was extraordinary. Qin Feng advanced again to start cutting down several centipede monsters that appeared before him. At this moment, the system announced that Beginner Village 911 now had 2 people at level 5 or above. Qin Feng knew that with his doubled resources, Lu Xian's progress would be faster than expected. The system reappeared, reminding that every 1,000 residents in the Beginner Village were classified as one district. Now, the channel has been successfully connected between Collection Village 911 and Beginner Village 47. What kind of bet would happen between these two villages? The chat room began to get lively as the two villages became connected. Some sarcastic individuals emerged, mocking the novice village number 911. They began to wonder who would teach the novice village 911 a lesson this time. Someone mentioned the esteemed figure named Amir Khan. They said that maybe number 446 would destroy village 911. They boasted about the esteemed Amir Khan because he was only 2000 EXP away from reaching level 8. They were confident that Amir Khan would successfully defeat village Pamulang 911. Now the system appeared and announced that novice village number 446 had been forcibly connected with novice village number 911 to engage in resource betting. Whoever first reached level 8 in the village would win this bet. Meanwhile, Qin Feng casually gained 800 EXP every time he defeated monsters. Even as the bet just started, this young man managed to reach level 8 first, thus winning the resource bet immediately. Casually cleaning his ears, this young man commented that those people were just a bunch of ignorant humans. Because he only needed to kill one more monster to reach level 8, but they dared to challenge him like this. The residents of the novice village still hadn't realized what was happening when suddenly their attribute points increased. Some of them realized that Qin Feng had once again won the resource bet as soon as it started. Instantly, these residents shouted that Qin Feng was very strong and cool. They became even more excited to level up because they had Qin Feng on their side. One of them was even moved as if seeing a new hope. In contrast to the members of Novice Village 911, in Novice Village number 446, they were all desperate because they immediately lost when the bet started. They all sat weakly because they had lost half of their resources, so most of them wouldn't be able to complete their tests. The old figure named Amir Khan blamed the members of Novice Village 911. Amir Khan was very eager for revenge against them, so he would contact other area channels and ask for help from their alliance. He would contact those who hated the Dragon Nation village and surely they would be willing to help village 446. Amir Khan immediately sent a message to alliance members that Novice Village number 911 had cheated using a cheat when facing them and winning this bet. With this, the resources of Village 911 would double and their attributes would increase. Village number 911's design would become stronger and more threatening. If they let this village continue, sooner or later they would prey on other villages. So Amir Khan asked for help from other villages to defeat Novice Village number 911. Someone sitting on the cliffside said to the holy person floating before them that the people of the Dragon Nation had managed to level up very quickly. They asked if that person had an S-rank talent. An S-rank talent was a gift from the gods to them, so how could a small nation like the Dragon Nation be favored by the gods? The figure bowed and asked the holy person before them to provide an answer. Meanwhile, some people in other villages mocked Amir Khan because he had become too arrogant to be easily defeated by the Dragon Nation. Some of them were curious about the people of the Dragon Nation and wanted to see them soon. Meanwhile, some large-bodied people hunting in the forest area said that Miyamoto was an extraordinarily talented ninja and the first to reach level 8 in their area. Miyamoto was afraid that people from the Dragon Nation would surpass him, so they would immediately find out about this person's fighting abilities. The chat room in Village 911 became lively after hearing people ridicule their village. They were determined to destroy other challengers and wait for Qin Feng to slaughter them. Meanwhile, Qin Feng himself almost burned to death in the desert. He used the services of desert lizards to cover the heat from his body. This young man truly hoped they would acquire a water or ice skill talent, otherwise, it would be difficult for them to survive in this desert. Qin Feng was asked to activate a rank C token. By activating this token, he would be given a rank C mission with no time limit. When the mission was completed, an incredible reward would be given along with a box of gold treasure. Qin Feng tried to understand that the first ranking in this novice test would receive a box of black gold treasure. If Qin Feng completed this mission, he would receive a black gold treasure box, meaning this would likely be a difficult mission. Qin Feng argued that as long as this mission had no time limit, he could start and proceed slowly. The system appeared and announced that novice Qin Feng had activated the token mission for the first time, so he was entitled to receive 1 honor point. Now novice village number 911 had met the requirements to activate the mission channel. For this rank C mission, someone had to be able to complete 5 elemental seals, namely a collection of gold, earth, water, fire, and sand. These 5 king cores headed to the true dragon slope. Someone had to find the altar of these 5 elements and break the seal of novice village number 911. The reminder of this mission after breaking the seal of the generous village number 911 could enter a wider world. All novice villages in Area 1 could enter a bigger world after completing a mission. Qin Feng, whichever village entered the big world would gain tremendous benefits and acquire more resources. Qin Feng pressed the hologram panel screen to see more information. This mission suggested that someone should immediately head to the center called Leave the Grassland and then kill all the fierce mammoths there. This notification also showed the coordinates of the location called Grassland. The second suggestion of this mission was the weakest King Mahmud and the easiest to kill. So it was suggested to form a team with 20 people at level 10, then the chance of winning would reach 70%. Qin Feng thought hard after reading the notification. He realized that the speed of 20 novice village people at level 10 gathering would require at least 5 days, which was too much wasted time. Qin Feng knew the desert burial ground, which was where he was currently wise. The location was quite close to the abandoned grassland. So Qin Feng thought about visiting that location and understanding the situation there first. Meanwhile, the figure of a girl named Lui Yen was cowering behind a rock, trying to remain calm and hold her breath so as not to be caught by the mammoth monster that was searching for her. The mammoth monster continued to walk, dragging its axe and murmuring about where the weak human was. The monster continued to mutter that it would soon get its tasty meat. Just then, the mammoth monster realized the presence of the girl and immediately raised its axe high to crush the rock hiding Lui Yen. Fortunately, Qin Feng arrived just in time to rescue the girl. Lui Yen was startled to see Qin Feng saving her. Calmly, Qin Feng asked why this girl was alone in a level 10 beast area? Instead of answering, Lui Yen countered by asking why Qin Feng was in this place. Qin Feng inquired about Lui Yen's friends. Qin Feng had already defeated the mammoth monster by plunging his sword right into its back. Feeling that the situation was calm, the blonde-haired girl tried to explain that her friends had been captured, killed, and even eaten terrifyingly by the mammoth monsters. Hearing this explanation, Qin Feng realized that indeed, this was the law of this world, where the strong would prey on the weak. It had been several days, but this girl still couldn't adapt. Lui Yen still trembled in fear, recalling the terrible events that befell her friends. Lui Yen held Qin Feng's hand and asked if the young man could save her other friends. Her friends had been captured by the mammoths because the monsters said they would only feast on the humans tonight. Qin Feng answered that he would decide when he saw the situation later. So, for now, Qin Feng had to ask Lui Yen to leave this place because it was not suitable or safe for her. Lui Yen refused to leave because she wanted to help. Qin Feng said he didn't need her help because her level was too low to be of any assistance. She still insisted she wanted to go, reasoning that she could show where her friends were taken. Qin Feng firmly replied that he didn't need much help because he could find them himself. Finally, Lui Yen said that the mammoth monsters liked human flesh, so she was willing to be bait. Qin Feng was surprised to hear this statement and immediately turned to ask if she wasn't afraid. Nervously, Lui Yen said they were her friends, so she felt responsible for saving them. She felt she couldn't just rely on Qin Feng just because he was strong. Lui Yen pleaded once again for Qin Feng to take her and allow her to provide whatever help she could. Qin Feng smiled, realizing that the girl wasn't as weak as he thought. Meanwhile, in the mammoth village, they were feasting, drumming, and watching a snake demon girl dance. Meanwhile, some of Lui Yan's fellow humans were tied to poles in the middle of the mammoth crowd. Some of the guarding monsters complained because there were only 6 humans, which wouldn't be enough when divided among many monsters. When it was their turn, the 2 of them might not even have bones left. One mammoth monster said if these humans didn't enter their area, they wouldn't even have anything to eat. Finally, one of them realized their member assigned to catch the escaping humans hadn't returned yet. They suspected the kid had eaten the human girl's flesh alone. Until finally, the 2 mammoth monsters on guard noticed a brief movement from the human body. Their eyes immediately became alert, saying that the king said if they managed to deliver the captured humans, they would get an extra thigh during the food distribution. So, with enthusiasm, they thought this was their lucky day and immediately hunted the human. But in the end, these 2 mammoth monsters fell into a trap and died quickly. From above the trap made by Qin Feng, Lui Yan said she only needed to be bait but ended up gaining 60 EXP. Qin Feng knew in his head that after extracting earthworms or desert centipedes, it would be enough to cut the mammoth skin. But to cause more damage, this young man needed to use mind skills to control it. Qin Feng then instructed Lui Yan to turn around and close her eyes. Qin Feng would extract the mammoth monster while thinking with the power of his mind. He could use a lot of mental power, but the effect was no better than using a weapon. So, he would change his hunting method another time. Quickly, this young man successfully extracted an E-rank talent, which strengthened physicality of the mammoth monster. After successfully extracting the mammoth monster, Qin Feng said that Lui Yan could open her eyes, and then he handed over a newly acquired protective ring from the mammoth. When the girl wears this ring later, she won't be attacked by mammoth monsters, as the ring will immediately form a shield around Lui Yan. Upon receiving the ring from Qin Feng, the girl's face immediately blushed. Qin Feng immediately asked the girl not to misunderstand, as she would still play the role of bait. However, if she dies, then it would be another problem. With a cheerful smile, Lui Yan thanked Qin Feng for the ring. Lui Yan thought Qin Feng hadn't changed, he still had a soft heart despite his tough exterior. They both walked to lure the next mammoth. Now, Qin Feng stepped forward to lure the mammoth monster with the snake poison he had previously obtained. Qin Feng thought the poison was still very effective against the raging level 12 mammoth. Lui Yan, watching Qin Feng's fight, was amazed because the young man not only easily destroyed the monster's defenses but also killed it. Now, Lui Yan knew the weak point of the mammoth monster was behind its neck. As long as its movements were restricted, even a level 4 human could kill it. They both were busy trapping the monster until finally, a group of mammoth monsters came to attack them. Qin Feng just stood calmly, thinking he had expected this to happen. The mammoth monsters seemed very eager to kill Qin Feng. But they were suddenly surprised by a trap set by Qin Feng. Sharp tentacles emerged from the ground and immediately pierced the mammoth monsters. Qin Feng stood still, smiling. He had predicted that some mammoth would realize their comrade was missing and follow its tracks to the location. So, Qin Feng intentionally set the trap there. Because they all came to that place, the mammoth monsters would serve as a stepping stone for Qin Feng. The system appeared and announced that Qin Feng had successfully killed several raging level 12 mammoth monsters, earning him 610 energy points in a row. Qin Feng said that being able to easily cut the thorny sand centipede's legs was equivalent to a level 2 weapon. According to Qin Feng, these mammoth monsters were interesting because they managed to resist his traps. There was even one mammoth monster that leaped with all its might toward Qin Feng to attack him. Qin Feng immediately raised his sword to parry the mammoth monster's axe attack. Qin Feng realized this mammoth monster was twice as strong as the usual raging mammoth. Because Qin Feng felt like he would die instantly in a sword fight with this monster. Its defense was also harder, but still at a level that could be destroyed by Qin Feng. The mammoth monster stood still for a moment, and its wounds closed tightly. The monster said its body had received the blessing of the king, so all its wounds would regenerate, and humans like Qin Feng wouldn't be able to easily kill it. Instead of being afraid, Qin Feng was happy to hear about his opponent's ability. Because he was so excited to imagine extracting such extraordinary abilities. He thought such abilities were amazing and very practical. But Qin Feng had a question: did the regeneration ability have limitations? Right after saying that, Qin Feng immediately leaped toward the mammoth monster, so a fierce battle ensued between them. These two different creatures attacked each other. They leaped here and there to find each other's weaknesses. Finally, Qin Feng felt the mammoth monster's movement slow down. Qin Feng had slashed the monster 75 times and hit it 60 times, 5 of which were fatal attacks, there were also 15 fatal wound attacks, and 30 moderate wound attacks, plus 10 minor wounds. But the regeneration speed of minor wounds was very fast, not even needing to count them. As for moderate wounds, it took 1 to 2 seconds to regenerate, while fatal wounds took 3 seconds, and fatal wounds initially took 5 seconds, but now require 15 seconds to regenerate. Finally, the mammoth monster fell seated with many wounds on its body. It seemed this big monster was starting to tire. Qin Feng summoned the elephant-headed monster and said he noticed the mammoth's regeneration ability had decreased. So, this young man asked once again if the regeneration ability had limitations. Qin Feng also said it seemed the Mammoth King no longer granted it blessings. With a flick, Qin Feng created hellfire added to his wind sword so that when this young man swung his sword, a large fire would appear and burn the mammoth monster. Qin Feng said it was time to end this fight. So, with one slash of the fire sword, this tough mammoth monster perished. The system appeared and announced that Qin Feng had successfully hunted down a mutant guard mammoth at level 12, earning him an additional 1,700 energy points. And he gained an additional 3 honor points. Meanwhile, inside their large tent, a mammoth sorcerer asked the king if something was wrong. The king replied that one of his loyal guards had been killed. Meanwhile, Qin Feng looked very annoyed after killing the mammoth monster. This young man even had to vent his anger by hitting rocks or trees he saw. Lui Yen realized this young man's mood suddenly turned sour since earlier. It was because Qin Feng failed to extract the power of the mammoth monster just now. Yet he wanted to extract the regeneration power of the mammoth monster. Then this young man concluded that if he couldn't steal the power from the knights, then he would steal it directly from the ruler of the mammoth. So, here they both are now, hiding behind rocks to monitor the mammoth area. Lui Yen told Qin Feng there were at least 30 elephant heads in this area, and even if Qin Feng became very strong, he would still be injured if he fought so many mammoths. Lui Yen suggested that they rescue their colleague stealthily, and then use a portal to return to the beginner village. So, the mammoth wouldn't be able to enter the portal and follow them. But Qin Feng still poured poison on his sword while apologizing because he had to disappoint Lui Yen. Then Qin Feng told this girl to look carefully. According to him, the current situation was very beneficial for them, so they could just sneak between 2 mammoth guard heads. Then they would save Lui Yan's colleagues without a sound. It did sound like a good and comfortable destiny. But Qin Feng asked, hadn't Lui Yan ever thought that this very easy situation was a trap? Qin Feng thought that the mammoth should be searching for them and attacking, considering that 8 mammoths were already missing. This team must have felt that one of their members was missing, so they must have informed the Mammoth King. That's why they intentionally placed Lei Ju in a weak defensive position, then pretended to be careless, as if clarifying that they were waiting for someone to come out. Lui Yen asked in surprise, aren't they just wild animals? How can they be so cunning? Qin Feng explained that the higher the level of the wild animal, the higher its wisdom. Using tactics is something they can predict. If Lui Yen continues to underestimate them like that, he might end up dead without knowing the reason. Qin Feng stood up and said that this place would become a slaughterhouse, so Lui Yen should hide further away. Lui Yen said that Qin Feng shouldn't leave because he just said this is a trap. Qin Feng stared at the herd of mammoth monsters. He answered that this trap was set up just to lure him out. So if he doesn't leave, who knows what will happen to those mammoth monsters? Then, calmly, he stepped out towards the mammoth herd. Seeing that what they were waiting for had arrived, the cheerful faces of the mammoths immediately turned into anger. They accused Qin Feng of being a despicable human who finally showed up. The mammoth herd immediately stood aside, clearing a path for Qin Feng to go straight to the king. As he walked, the youth saw a total of 67 berserk mammoths. Then there were 3 berserk mammoth guardians. Although all the mammoths cursed Qin Feng, the youth showed no fear at all. The mammoths suspected that Qin Feng must have used foul means because it was impossible for a weak human like him to kill mammoth warriors. Over time, Qin Feng became annoyed at being talked about like that. He gave a sharp look to several mammoths, silencing them immediately. The Mammoth King looked relieved when Qin Feng finally arrived. Then Qin Feng said he had long heard about the Mammoth King, the Overlord. But today was the first time he had seen the Mammoth King in person, and he found the Mammoth King truly impressive. Qin Feng looked at the king with eyes of truth to determine that the combat ability ranking of the Mammoth King was at 6 stars. Although it was higher than Qin Feng's, it was much lower than what Qin Feng had imagined for a king's standard. The king laughed and praised Qin Feng for knowing how to speak to a king, but he had killed 14 of his citizens and one of his trusted guardians. The king's gaze turned sharp as he said that the mammoth race was now being ridiculed, so how should he punish Qin Feng? Qin Feng knew that the king set up this trap to lure him. So he worried that it wouldn't happen because the king would have to vent his anger by killing Qin Feng. The king confirmed Qin Feng's words. The king also acknowledged that Qin Feng was much stronger than the trash that had died. The king honestly admitted that he liked Qin Feng. So he asked Qin Feng to submit to him. Qin Feng was surprised to hear that, but the king continued his speech, saying that he would not only forgive Qin Feng's crimes, but he would also allow Qin Feng to become one of his trusted guardians. The king promised ferocious beasts, spirit grass, food, and women because this land had everything. Qin Feng would be the luckiest human in this land if he accepted the king's offer. Qin Feng replied that before he made a decision, he would ask something of the king. In his mind, the youth knew that the wisdom of the Mammoth King was very high because he knew how to recruit humans into ferocious beasts. The king told Qin Feng to come closer to ask. Qin Feng said he had heard that the great world had many powerful races. Some races could fly above the clouds, move mountains, fill seas, and even destroy lands with a single strike. Qin Feng asked the king if these races truly existed. The king asked the shaman if the great world existed. The shaman replied that he didn't know, but he thought this human was just talking nonsense. The serpent girl beside the king smiled upon hearing that there were races that could move mountains and fill seas. Even destroy lands with a single strike. Such things could only be done by gods. Finally, the Mammoth King said that he had never left this place for the end of the world. So he believed the great world had never existed. Qin Feng thought he couldn't use his analytical eyes, so he didn't know the mission in the great world. Qin Feng thought that the king had disappointed him because he couldn't answer his question. The youth was aware that the king was probably only trapped in this remote place, so he didn't know anything. In the end, Qin Feng drew his sword, indicating that he preferred to fight rather than join the mammoth race. The king asked if this was Qin Feng's decision. The youth replied that submitting to the Mammoth King meant he had to devote his life as a human, and also had to cooperate with ferocious beasts. Qin Feng calmly said that he couldn't accept such humiliation, unless the king could defeat him. Bravely, Qin Feng raised his weapon to challenge the king to a fight. Meanwhile, in one of the beginner villages, the village leader Miyamoto received a forced message from Amir Khan. Miyamoto asked flatly why Amir Khan sent him a message. Amir Khan explained that Village 911 had a talented player ranked C, and people in that country level up very quickly. In the future, he will become the #1 expert in his field, and some strong villages want to recruit him. In the future, if the country of dragons becomes stronger, it will be difficult for people in that country to stay in a world full of killings. Amir Khan believes in Miyamoto's combat abilities. But before the figure could finish speaking, Miyamoto slashed the hologram screen in front of him. Miyamoto said this was the 5th person to use the forced contact device to reach him. One of Miyamoto's subordinates said he heard Amir Khan lost to Qin Feng in a strength bet. Thus, Amir Khan is trying to seek revenge. Lord Miyamoto has a higher ranking, so he can defeat Qin Feng as easily as squashing an ant. Miyamoto's subordinate warned that those people are not good, so they must be careful. Miyamoto tried to reassure them that it didn't matter because he wasn't afraid. This thick-mustached man immediately broke the bet token. Instantly the system appeared and notified that beginner village number 5 had used forced betting to connect with beginner village number 911. Now both villages could start betting resources. The betting terms are that the beginner village reaching level 9 first will win the bet. Hearing this, Qin Feng felt it was lucky considering he was currently fighting the Mammoth King. Nevertheless, this young man thought the Mammoth King had armor with such strong energy. Several times his attacks couldn't penetrate that armor. Qin Feng cursed inwardly because he couldn't harm the king. This young man couldn't judge whether the king had healing or recovery skills. They both continued to leap, attack, and corner each other until finally the king launched a significant attack, causing Qin Feng to have to defend himself with sand armor. Because of the strength of the king's attack, Qin Feng's armor couldn't withstand it, and he was thrown and hit the rock very hard. Qin Feng was slightly annoyed because the sand armor extracted from the Mammoth Guardian couldn't even withstand the king's attack. This young man fell and coughed up blood from the powerful attack. The Mammoth King said that if Qin Feng had sand mammoth talent, then it seemed he had a destiny with the mammoth race. The king would give Qin Feng one last chance to reconsider. Qin Feng was still coughing up blood, his breath was wheezing. And he tried to gather strength again. But luckily, this young man still had another backup plan. Qin Feng then said if he joined the mammoth race, then what if the king stepped down from his current position? And let Qin Feng become the new king? Qin Feng created a large spear attack from the sand. The king was enraged that a human dared to do so to him. The king's anger rose instantly, and he asked Qin Feng to prepare to face his wrath. Quickly, the Mammoth King used sand control skills to control the sand around them to engulf Qin Feng. Qin Feng panicked a bit because the whirlpool of sand kept holding him and sucking him in. Qin Feng realized that the Mammoth King's skill was extremely difficult to deal with. Qin Feng tried to free himself from the sand while shouting, "Sand, control harder." With that, the sand spear stopped just before attacking Qin Feng's eyes. Now Qin Feng could breathe a little to enable him to escape death for a moment. Suddenly the Mammoth King leaped forcefully towards Qin Feng with both weapons drawn. Fortunately, Qin Feng managed to jump to avoid it in time. Qin Feng now used fire skills to attack the Mammoth King. But this consecutive attack still didn't hurt the king because he had very strong armor. Qin Feng realized there was hellfire in that place, but it wasn't enough to hurt the Mammoth King. Now Qin Feng was instead hit by the sand-controlled attack from the king. Qin Feng was thrown several meters away. The Mammoth King asked what kind of move that was since Qin Feng almost injured him. Qin Feng tried another way. He used the hellfire skill so big that it directly burned the Mammoth King. The large-bodied elephant looked surprised that there was a fire that could hit him. Qin Feng felt relieved because he finally managed to break the Mammoth King's defense. This young man realized that the king's healing speed was slower than the Mammoth Guardian he had defeated before. Qin Feng wondered if this was because he used hellfire. The Mammoth King screamed, dispelling the fire all over his body and creating cracks in the ground he stood on. Then, with his special ability, the Mammoth King charged at Qin Feng. This young man tried to withstand such a massive punch with his body. Qin Feng tried to use the sand control skill to get rid of the giant fist, but the system appeared and notified them that his mind power was too low, so he couldn't use that skill. Qin Feng was truly surprised and confused now. The Mammoth King said he liked Qin Feng, but the king's kindness didn't come twice. Qin Feng could only sit back because he was out of energy. Hellfire had used up a lot of his mind power. Suddenly the Mammoth King used mind control to create many fists that immediately hit Qin Feng's body. The king screamed, saying he would help Qin Feng feel what real pain is like. Lu Yen, seeing Qin Feng being beaten mercilessly, panicked and asked what she should do. If she remained silent, Qin Feng could die on the spot. The girl kept asking herself what she should do. What should be done? She panicked, sitting there holding her head. Until finally, she remembered a voice that had once instructed her to remain calm. If Lu Yen couldn't calm down, then she would only die in this cruel world. Those were Qin Feng's words. The young man had said during battles, attributes would decrease when they were too low, limiting movement. Usually, one could choose to rest or eat to recover, but in critical conditions, one could only consume spirit grass or spirit fruit to instantly restore attributes. But unfortunately, this only applied to freshly picked spirit grass and spirit fruit. If not, the effect would be greatly reduced. Lu Yen knew that spirit grass and spirit fruit could help Qin Feng. So, the girl immediately opened the hologram screen and announced to everyone that Qin Feng was currently fighting for his life. In this emergency, Qin Feng needed as much spirit grass and spirit fruit as possible. Lu Yen pleaded with everyone to help send spirit grass and spirit fruit. At first, people were skeptical whether the announcement was true. They even asked Qin Feng to send a message himself. Some even considered the person sending this message to be crazy, especially saying that this was an emergency. Some people in the chat room didn't believe that Qin Feng was in danger. Lu Yen emphasized that this was a big problem, and she wouldn't dare to lie to everyone. The girl truly begged everyone to help Qin Feng. Until finally, someone thought that if Lord Qin Feng died, they would lose the resource bet. Of course, no one wanted to lose to other villages. They began to give valuable spirit grass to Qin Feng. Some were even willing to come to the location of the spirit grass still guarded by ferocious beasts just to get the spirit grass to give to Qin Feng. They hoped Qin Feng could hold on a little longer waiting for the spirit grass and spirit fruit they sent. Everyone in the village said they would always support Qin Feng. So quickly, many people sent spirit grass and spirit fruit to Qin Feng. The king was shocked and asked what Qin Feng was doing. He seemed to be eating a red-colored gemstone. With such a large amount of spirit grass and spirit fruit, Qin Feng's strength, agility, and mind power were allowed to increase significantly. Just as the enraged King Mammoth was about to attack Qin Feng, the young man emitted a burst of blue light so immense. Then, he walked casually and said he was about to kill King Mammoth. With a stronger and more agile body, Qin Feng leaped towards the Mammoth King and stabbed it with his sword. The system appeared and notified that the target had been injured by hellfire. Qin Feng apologized because his sword didn't directly kill the king. But his hellfire managed to penetrate the Mammoth King's chest directly. Qin Feng said he actually wanted to decapitate the king with just one stroke, but apparently, he failed. All the other mammoths were useless seeing their king killed by a human. With that, Qin Feng successfully obtained a tribute sand from the King Mammoth. The The system emerges and announces that Qin Feng has successfully killed the level 12 Mammoth King. As a result, Qin Feng gains 4,000 EXP and also obtains attribute points from the king. With this, Qin Feng's level rises to level 9, and his agility, physique, and strength increase by several points. The system then informs that village number 911 has reached level 9, thus winning the village resource bet. The system also congratulates Qin Feng for acquiring an additional 50 attributes as a reward. Consequently, the resources of beginner village number 911 have doubled. However, the mammoths, enraged by the death of their king, unite, arm themselves, and seek revenge in their king's name. They swarm Qin Feng, intent on killing him. Quickly, Qin Feng dodges their attacks and retaliates. Qin Feng questions how they could defeat him with their large numbers. Swiftly, he maneuvers to the side, striking down the mammoths with a single blow. Each time he kills a mammoth monster, he gains 610 EXP. The system appears, indicating that Qin Feng is currently at level 9, 1200/10,000, signifying significant increases in his strength, agility, and mental enchantment. With a smile, Qin Feng continues to dispatch the mammoth monsters, steadily increasing his EXP. Witnessing their people slaughtered by Qin Feng, the mammoth shaman orders his forces to hide behind him. He plans to attack Qin Feng when the opportunity arises. The shaman expresses disbelief that any human could withstand an attack from over 100 mammoth warriors. He then commands several mammoths to attack Qin Feng. Qin Feng swiftly counters the attackers with hellfire, incinerating several mammoths at once and earning himself 1,700 EXP. As he successfully defeats more berserk mammoths, he earns a bronze chest as a reward. Observing the mammoth shaman directing his forces from a distance, Qin Feng perceives him as a mere nuisance. Determined to eliminate the shaman first, Qin Feng charges towards him. Despite the shaman's attempt to control a mammoth to evade Qin Feng's attack, Qin Feng manages to strike him down. Annoyed by the shaman's attempt to deceive him, Qin Feng swiftly deals with him, gaining 1,700 EXP and dropping another bronze chest. Qin Feng acknowledges the shaman's cunning but deems the rest of the mammoths less intelligent. Despite several mammoths remaining to attack him, Qin Feng eradicates them with hellfire, harvesting a significant amount of EXP. Lui Yan and her companions, who have been observing Qin Feng's battles, now regard him as a demon. After being freed, they express their gratitude by offering fruits and spirit grass to Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng dismisses their gratitude, considering it a low-ranked gift, much to their disappointment. Qin Feng reaches out to accept the spirit fruits, inadvertently touching a loud clucking chicken toy. The sudden noise startles everyone. Qin Feng apologizes for the disturbance but finds the toy amusing and decides to take it along with the gifts from Lui Yan's group. As Qin Feng departs, he warns them of the danger posed by the level 10 ferocious beasts in the area, urging them to leave promptly. Impressed by Qin Feng's kindness, they depart. As the others begin to leave, Lui Yan remains, contemplating her brief encounter with Qin Feng. She senses his destined path toward greatness and accepts her own role in supporting him from afar. Now, Qin Feng contemplates what to do with the two serpent women who served as entertainers for the Mammoth King. The women tremble in fear, pleading for mercy, explaining that they were merely dancers to amuse the mammoths and had never harmed humans before. Qin Feng scrutinizes them, realizing their combat abilities are low. However, he inquires about the creeping vine plants used to adorn their heads. Embedded within the plants are small, thorny fruits. Qin Feng grasps one of the fruits, discovering it to be a blue star, and proceeds to extract it. He promises to free the women if they answer his questions truthfully. After answering Qin Feng's question, the two snake girls were completely released. Meanwhile, Qin Feng began to check the information on the hologram screen while thinking that the charm dance and waist flexibility were skills that belonged to children, so he didn't need to extract those two skills. Watching his body transform into half a snake and dance made Qin Feng shiver with horror. Qin Feng now contemplated entering the 5-element mission, seizing the loot, and moving on to the next mission. But while checking the youth chat room, he was surprised to find many members of Village 911 complaining. They were annoyed because the losing village kept mocking Qin Feng. It should be a matter of honor for the losing side to accept the fact that they had lost. Qin Feng's eyes lit up with anger upon realizing that he was being ridiculed by other villages. Qin Feng thought of making the other villages pay for their actions immediately. He couldn't let this issue continue. He would punish them to set an example for other villages not to cause trouble with him. So Qin Feng issued a betting token to start a new bet. Once the betting token was activated, the system appeared and explained that the betting token only appeared once in each beginner village. And only high-ranked individuals could activate it. Qin Feng had activated the resource betting token. A warning from the system stated that each beginner village only had one token, and each area only had 100 chances to use it. This was the 79th time the bet was being placed, and it was effective. Qin Feng only now realized that there was also a limit to the number of bets. He thought, wouldn't such provisions make high-ranking players the judges, while beginners would only be sacrificial lambs? Like Edward, Amir Khan, and Miyamoto, they dared to start betting even though they ultimately lost. The weaker ones obtained resource bets, and they dared not start because they knew they would lose or perhaps they would head to the strongest village. Fortunately, Qin Feng used it just in time, otherwise, the opportunity might have been lost. This betting method was divided into two, single method and group method. The single method meant choosing one village and betting resource rewards and punishments, which were on average the same. The terms for group betting meant challengers could choose many targets such as enemy groups and could also ally with other villages. The rewards and punishments from this group betting method could be quite high. Qin Feng was initially worried about how to deal with more than 20 villages. On the contrary, he now had a good and very rare opportunity. This time, he would give them all memories they would never forget in their lifetime. Qin Feng pressed the group method button for this bet. The system warned the betting organizer that if the bet failed, the punishment would double and no reward would be received, and vice versa. Now, on the hologram screen, two groups of villages were displayed. They were divided between enemy villages consisting of villages number 5, number 446, and number 21. While the allied group villages with village 911 were villages number 34 and number 77. Since the groups were now selected, the system announced this massive bet to all relevant villages. The system announced that village 911 had activated the bet by Qin Feng, and whether the bet started in this area for the first time. The terms of this product bet were that the losing party would receive a 70% resource cut and weaken their equipment by 50 points. The winning party would receive double the resources and increase their equipment by 50 points. Meanwhile, the method for earning points was killing wild animals only. Points could not be earned by killing wild animals in a team, and the team that collected 1,000 older fruits would be the winner. Killing level 5 wild animals would earn 1 point, while killing level 6 wild animals would earn 2 points, and killing level 7 wild animals would earn 3 points, and so on. Various expressions of players in beginner villages were immediately apparent after hearing this announcement. Some looked worried, but most looked surprised. Meanwhile, all members of beginner village 911 considered Qin Feng extraordinary because he used this method to prevent the Dragon Kingdom from being attacked by other kingdoms. There was also one person in beginner village 911 who was worried because there were still level 1 beginners in their village. If their village lost, they would receive negative points, and they feared they would all be killed by the gods here. But their comrades immediately reassured them by saying that they had Qin Feng as their boss, who wouldn't let their side lose. And surely Qin Feng must have had a solid plan this time. But when this person looked at the opponents list, they were stunned. Because it turned out that the red group had only 3 people, while the labor group had 12 people, which meant it would be a big fight between 3 villages against 12 villages. Meanwhile, in his village, Lord Miyamoto was listening to the report from his subordinates, that their resources had decreased, so everyone's strength was getting weaker, only 6 people were at level 5, and they couldn't kill level 5 wild animals alone. Lord Miyamoto was furious upon hearing the report, thinking that if Qin Feng hadn't cheated from the beginning, they wouldn't have lost like yesterday. This time they would surely win. They still had 12 villages on their side, while their opponents only had 3 villages on their side. Lord Miyamoto said now it's time to make them pay for what they've done. This tough samurai fighter turned to his subordinate Wu Juan and said that if he failed this time, he would hand over his life, and Wu Juan was the only trusted person. The system appears and notifies everyone that in 10 minutes, the betting will officially begin. Qin Feng is in a special room, equipping himself with special items. This young man is wearing elephant gloves with a defense reaching 20 points and a body endurance of 100 points. There is also an elephant wristband with a strength of 30 points, along with a giant work ring with a strength of 25 points and a body endurance of 100 points. Qin Feng also completes his attire with an elephant belt with a defense of 70 points, an elephant king armor with an endurance of up to 110 points, and dark shoes with an agility of 20 points. The young man also wears a silver hat that gives him an identical increase of up to 4 fire spirit fluids. When these fire spirit fluids are successfully absorbed, his fire resistance becomes 100%. The fire element has evolved into a true C-ranking fire. Now, Qin Feng stands equipped with cool gear that suits him perfectly. After completing his new gear, Qin Feng says his fighting ability has increased rapidly. He opens a hologram screen about his status and realizes that his strength has reached 262 points, agility 263 points, as well as intelligence and other skills that have been rapidly improved. Qin Feng even laughs because he can't believe his combat ability is now at 28 stars. Now, Qin Feng decides he will only hunt wild beasts at the king level. The system appears and announces a level C mission, which is to break the seal of the 5 elements, with no time limit. Qin Feng has collected low-level king cores as suggested by the system to go to the mountain on the west side of the grassland and kill the metal-eating ant queen to obtain a high-level king core. The system's mission clue is that the metal-eating ant queen is a level 13 wild beast, suggesting the formation of a team of 10 or more members with a level of 10. Reading the last mission clue, the young man suspects that the metal-eating ant queen is twice as strong as the mammoth king. Now, there are 5 hours left to start betting. Qin Feng plans to prepare even more. Poison is the greatest equalizer in human history. With poison, a weak woman can kill a strong man, and one person can kill a group of enemies. Some people consider poison a weak weapon, while others argue that anything that can kill a human is a perfect weapon. Since ancient times, various poisons could be obtained from plants and animals. Ricin is one of the top 10 poisons extracted from castor beans. And less than a drop of ricin can kill someone in 36 to 48 hours. The first assassination using ricin occurred in 1978. An international spy concealed ricin poison in his umbrella and successfully hit the target in a public place. When Qin Feng sees flax seeds in the hair of a snake charmer girl, he devises a plan. The young man finally manages to extract the poison from the fruit. He stretches his hand into the air and focuses on extracting poison from various plants around him. Qin Feng knows that this poison is enough to kill 200 to 300 wild animals. Now, he wants to try mixing snake poison and ricin, always wondering if something interesting will happen. Finally, the 2 very potent poison liquids become one. Qin Feng hopes there is a wild beast that can be used as a testing target to see if his poison works to kill wild animals. Suddenly, a tiger monster passes by Qin Feng's side. The wild tiger monster is at level 10. Qin Feng immediately excitedly calls the cat monster to be his test subject. And in a short time, the large wild beast is knocked out on the spot. Qin Feng smiles happily because, with just 1 drop of his poison, he can instantly kill a level 10 wild beast. The young man feels very ingenious for discovering such a deadly poison. He will make more poison and then go to the ant nest and kill them all. Sure enough, in a short time, the young man is in the ant monster nest area. This place full of stones is called the Iron Seed. It is one of the resources in the beginner village. The stone containing iron elements can be used to build structures in the beginner village. Qin Feng takes some of the iron stones and stores them temporarily. Finally, Qin Feng sees many ant monsters carrying stones to their nest. The system explains that these giant ants are wild beasts who are metal-eating worker ants at level 12. Their combat ability is 16 stars, while their special abilities are to eat iron and mental resilience. These ants are fearless and true protectors. The ants seemed very skilled at lifting large stones on their backs, until finally, sharp iron spears emerged from the ground to pierce them one by one. The iron seemed to be drawn towards its target and destroyed it with a single strike. Qin Feng, controlling the large iron spear, said that after extracting the gold attribute and sand control, the attack power became twice as strong, but it drained too much metal power. Moreover, to protect the queen ant, they wouldn't fear death. So that's why Qin Feng immediately attacked them recklessly using the newly controlled metal. The young man realized if he didn't destroy the ants' brains, they would continue to attack even if their bodies were severed. The system appeared and notified that Qin Feng had successfully killed worker ants. Thus, he gained 8 points and an additional 620 EXP. He thought fighting with metal in this way was quite troublesome. If he could use the poison, it would be easier. However, the ants moved separately, and it was difficult to control a wide area with their current strength. So Qin Feng cut off the head of one ant and said he would make all the ant monsters gather in one place. This young man boldly threw the severed head into the midst of the ant monster crowd, shouting that the foolish ants must attack him now. Seeing the head of one of their companions severed, the anger of the ant monsters surged instantly. Instead of being afraid, Qin Feng was delighted to see this. He didn't understand what the ants were saying, but he realized the next scene would be too dangerous. Because there were hundreds of ant monsters looking very angry heading towards him. Qin Feng immediately raised both arms high and created a poisonous ball, saying that those ants must feel the newly created poison. Then, with a single wave, Qin Feng rained down the newly created lethal poison on the ants, killing them instantly. Many ants writhed in pain and fell, dead. In this way, Qin Feng succeeded in killing many ants and gaining points and EXP consecutively. Qin Feng smiled and said with this many ant monsters, he could gain points, EXP, and power as quickly as possible. Therefore, he could win the bet again. Suddenly, a hologram screen appeared right beside him and said that Qin Feng's points had reached 300. Qin Feng was surprised because the hologram screen appeared suddenly. Qin Feng asked the system not to appear suddenly again because such reminders were unnecessary. Qin Feng asked to be notified only when receiving rewards. The system finally informed that if Qin Feng's village team won, he would receive additional rewards. Suddenly, Qin Feng was startled when he saw a large ant in front of him with a very strong aura of power. It was the general of the ants. Its combat power level was at 23 stars. Its special ability was to rampage as a metal devourer, and it was the absolute guardian. The ant general closed its eyes to avoid being affected by the poison. Qin Feng saw this ant general coming again with a horde of ants that seemed stronger in resisting its poison. Qin Feng could see that his poison was not effective in killing the new group of ants because it couldn't enter their eyes. Now Qin Feng could only use this method. He controlled the metal to stab the heads of the ants one by one. This young man stabbed all the ants brave enough to approach the cliff where he stood valiantly. These ants were clever enough to avoid Qin Feng's iron thrust attacks. But this young man was not short of ideas to attack in other ways. Especially with the monster so close, he could attack easily. Suddenly, Qin Feng was startled by the throw of a very large metal ball. Fortunately, this young man managed to dodge in time. Qin Feng realized this was the ability of a high-level wild beast. Qin Feng swiftly and quickly stabbed the heads of each monster ant. Because the ant monsters could instruct other ants to close their eyes to avoid the poison and spread out to attack Qin Feng's defense with large metal stones. Qin Feng realized the situation was getting worse because long-range attacks were ineffective now, so he would attack at close range. This young man quickly drew his cherished sword and attacked the ant master with all his fighting skills. Qin Feng was shocked because before he could move, one of the ants had already caught his leg. Qin Feng just realized that the ant climbed up to distract him so that several others could catch him. But Qin Feng managed to easily chop off a few of those ants. Then he jumped off the cliff and said that the Mammoth Belt, Mammoth King Armor, Mysterious Crystal Armor, and many other protective devices known to Qin Feng, made it so easy for him to be injured by these ants. Qin Feng shouted that these ant monsters were useless and he would become a nightmare for them. The system kept appearing only to inform the many points and EXP this young man obtained after killing many monsters. Finally, Qin Feng was surrounded by several ant monsters at once. These ant monsters held Qin Feng's arms, legs, and shoulders simultaneously. Although Qin Feng tried to shake them off, these ants could work together to attack and restrain his movements. Qin Feng realized that these many ant monsters wanted to bury him alive. That's why the ant monsters attacked him simultaneously until Qin Feng's body was no longer visible. However, Qin Feng wouldn't be Qin Feng if he didn't have a well-thought-out battle plan. The young man wanted to use hellfire to burn all the ants surrounding him. A tremendously large blue flame erupted, burning the ants until they were thrown far away, lifeless. Now Qin Feng gained points and EXP again after burning so many monsters. From behind the blazing flames, this young man smiled broadly because he felt unbeatable. Qin Feng asked the ant general to open his eyes wide and see clearly. This was his trump card. Qin Feng unleashed a powerful hellfire attack to eliminate the ant general. Finally, the system reappeared and notified that this young man had successfully killed the metal-eating ant general who had mutated to level 12. Qin Feng gained 200 EXP after defeating the ant general. He also gained 20 points and 3 honor points for killing the general. Qin Feng stood outside the ant nest cave, wondering why the ant queen hadn't emerged yet, even though he had made a powerful move outside their cave. When Qin Feng looked into the dark cave mouth, another ant monster suddenly appeared, easily killed by Qin Feng with his spear. Qin Feng calculated his points, now reaching 800, making the total points of the entire beginner village 911 to be 867. Adding the points from village 34 and a potential 77, they would quickly reach 1000 points. Qin Feng wanted to see if any ants were left to give him those points. But when he looked back, there were no ants alive, only those remaining to be his victims. So Qin Feng had no choice but to enter the ant nest cave. As he ventured into the cave, Qin Feng could feel the damp air, soft ground, and a chocolate-like smell inside. So Qin Feng walked carefully, aided by the hellfire's light in his palm. Qin Feng had read a book before and knew that if everything was in danger, the antennae would send danger signals, causing the chocolate scent to spread to inform the ant troops and other ant members. Seeing the energy deeper in the cave, Qin Feng suspected they had prepared something to welcome him. Once inside the main chamber of the cave, Qin Feng saw a large hall filled with ants facing the Ant Queen. The Ant Queen had a human head and body, but half of her body was a giant ant larger than the other ants. The Ant Queen screamed as she laid small eggs that were immediately received by other ants. From these eggs, worker ants would emerge, capable of devouring metal and growing rapidly. Qin Feng was astonished at how these ants reproduced. Qin Feng commented that it's no wonder the Ant Queen ranked 4 out of the 5 great king beasts. With her reproductive ability and highly loyal troops, even 10 mammoth kings wouldn't match her. The system then revealed that the Ant Queen had a battle level of up to 30 stars, with telekinesis specialization ranked D. While Qin Feng's attention was diverted, another ant monster suddenly appeared from behind and stabbed him in the shoulder. Luckily, the attack was stopped by Qin Feng's mysterious blue armor. Quickly, Qin Feng slashed the daring ant monster that attacked him. Qin Feng rubbed his shoulder and realized the attack almost hit him. Fortunately, he reacted in time, or else he would have died. Suddenly, his movement was stopped by the sound field created by the Ant Queen. Then, the Ant Queen ordered all the troops inside the cave to attack Qin Feng. Quickly, the ants produced refined metal from deposits and covered their bodies with black iron armor. According to Qin Feng, it was a brilliant strategy for ants. Qin Feng saw the ant monsters extracting a lot of iron from seed deposits and covering their entire bodies with black iron armor. He thought it was a clever tactic. The Ant Queen immediately ordered all her subordinates to attack Qin Feng. Seeing a horde of ant monsters attacking him, Qin Feng quickly pulled out sharp iron blades and swords from his hands. With determination, Qin Feng leaped into the middle of the cave and said he had killed hundreds of ants like them outside the cave. So first, he stabbed the ants with dozens of spear blades, then slashed them with his sword. While fighting, Qin Feng said that no matter how many ant troops the queen brought, they were just points to help him level up in front of his current strength. Qin Feng then smeared his poison on the mouth of one ant and told it to taste his special drink. Then, he continued slashing the ants, saying he hoped the poison would suit the taste of these ant monsters. The Ant Queen began to panic as many of her troops were defeated. But Qin Feng kept heading towards the queen, saying that now the warrior ants were defeated, so he would soon move on to the closing. Qin Feng threw a fireball and told the queen to accept her fate. However, the Ant Queen still had a secret weapon, shooting slime from her mouth. Qin Feng was frustrated because he couldn't avoid the slime attack while airborne, so he had to face it with his blue armor. Qin Feng jumped back quite far but didn't feel much pushing force, so he wondered if the recent attack was just a deception. Then Qin Feng saw his arm guard melting. He realized that the slime contained highly corrosive anthranilate acid, which could even destroy the strongest defense of his crystal armor. Qin Feng suspected this was the queen's acid card. But he still smiled confidently and said unfortunately for the queen, his opponent. Qin Feng created another fireball to attack the queen. This time, the queen shot out very strong slime, causing both great powers to collide. The queen thought her power was greater and managed to explode Qin Feng. She didn't realize her opponent was approaching and decided it was time to strike the queen. With a single strike, Qin Feng told the queen to fulfill her final duty and die. With that, Qin Feng jumped behind the wounded queen. With a cold face, he told the queen to burn in hell with her followers. With the remaining strength she had, the Ant Queen tried to reach out and call Qin Feng, but ultimately couldn't and collapsed. The system appeared and announced that Qin Feng had successfully killed the level 13 gold-eating queen. Qin Feng gained an additional 6,000 energy points and 4 honor points. Qin Feng also obtained treasure in the form of the essence of the queen. Additionally, he won a war treasure, a chest of gold class. Qin Feng held the gold coin in his hand and said that so far, he had collected 2 types of monster heart cores, and his exploration had yielded results. Meanwhile, in another village, Lord Miyamoto successfully decapitated one of the bear monsters. His subordinate reported that the Lord had scored 62 points. Based on their calculations, the total number of points for their village should already exceed 600. Lord Miyamoto remarked that it seemed he didn't need to perform harakiri. Just for information, harakiri is a form of ritual suicide in Japan by cutting open the abdomen with a dagger or knife. Typically, this act of suicide is commonly performed by samurai who have failed in their duties. Lord Miyamoto laughed satisfactorily with all his members as they were confident they would win and the Dragon Kingdom would be completely defeated. But suddenly, fireballs fell onto their village. The system appeared and announced that the Alliance Village Group in the red box was the first to reach 1,000 points in this bet, so all villages affiliated with the red team won this bet. Consequently, 5 villages lost the bet, with the starting attributes of each beginner in those 5 villages reduced by 50 points, and all resources in those villages would be reduced by 70%. The system continued to announce that there was a deficit of points that needed to be paid as a result of losing the bet, which would lead to penalties for the losing side. All members of Lord Miyamoto's village screamed in panic as they were bombarded by the firestones. They didn't expect the alliance team in the blue box to lose. Instantly, people screamed in pain as they were hit by the firestone attacks. The system continued to appear and inform that the attribute points of some members of the losing beginner villages were reduced to negative, and their lives had ended. Many cries for help echoed around Lord Miyamoto. The man in samurai attire looked bewildered as his attribute points continued to disappear. Even Lord Miyamoto couldn't do anything when his trusted people asked for help because they were currently helpless. Some people around him crawled, approached, and begged to be saved. They all screamed, reaching out for help to Lord Miyamoto, who could only stand silently without doing anything. Finally, Lord Miyamoto fell to his knees with a pale face. His voice trembled as he said his people. He had lost his people and everything. Meanwhile, Qin Feng sat relaxed on a rock while checking his hologram screen. Occasionally, this young man had to fend off small ants trying to attack him, saying that killing ants of that size now would not give him any energy or additional points. So the young man drove the ants away and asked them not to disturb him. As the small ants were thrown away, Qin Feng asked them to become stronger if they wanted to avenge their queen. As if understanding Qin Feng's words, the small ants seemed to communicate with each other and then collectively crawled back into the cave. Qin Feng was looking at the hologram screen, which indicated that the prizes were currently being calculated. So Qin Feng had to wait for a moment. Qin Feng suddenly remembered that the system had notified him when the village succeeded in winning the bet. The youth had been too busy killing ants and missed the earlier notification. Now Qin Feng wanted to see how much reward he had received. The system informed him that the honor points he possessed had reached 30, thus he had successfully obtained the title of the young king. His strength exceeded 20 as well as his physical and mental agility. From this, Qin Feng concluded that his high reputation could grant him titles, which he didn't find bad at all. The system also informed him that the rewards had been doubled, increasing 100 attribute points. Since the player's points had exceeded 800, the attribute rewards increased by 160. Qin Feng's hard work was rewarded with 6 silver chests. Seeing all these rewards, Qin Feng felt happy because the system did not waste his efforts in formulating strategies against many monsters. The system also announced that Pamulang village number 911 had become the first to reach level 10. Thus, Qin Feng was entitled to 1 gold chest. While tallying up all his rewards, the youth suddenly realized that he had reached level 10. Feeling like he had never seen this mission before, Qin Feng immediately pressed the button to see further details. The system congratulated Qin Feng on reaching level 10 and asked if he would activate the future village leader mission. The reward for this mission was the village leader scroll and a gold chest. Qin Feng noticed there were 5 C-ranking mission seals and a very dark gold chest. Meanwhile, the rewards for the C-ranking mission were equivalent to those for the first place among beginners. Qin Feng needed to read the mission content description first. The D-ranking content was about the future village head. This time's mission content involved searching for a level 10 area, searching for the lost village in the cemetery desert, and killing demons. The reward for this mission was the village head's meeting scroll and a gold chest. However, a reminder stated that level 10 was required to obtain the title of beginner king to qualify for this mission. The system once again warned that fragments of dark seals were needed to open the buried lost village under the desert. Becoming the village head was the only way for the development of a beginner village. A beginner village without a village head would be disbanded, and the beginners would become refugees, losing the protection of their wooden houses. Beginners could grow and expand, while the village head could lead the village people to build villages, towns, territories, kingdoms, and even divine territories. Qin Feng realized that the cemetery area meant the lost village he had passed through before. Qin Feng felt it was a good thing because he had found the key to enter the lost village. Since it was already evening, the youth decided to complete several missions first. While tossing a coin, he said that it would be great if good things like this kept happening. Qin Feng thought the nickname Village Head of Pamulang number 911 sounded very suitable for him. Qin Feng said he needed to prepare before continuing to the cemetery desert. First, he had to utilize all the attributes he had obtained. So Qin Feng asked the system to add all the attributes he possessed. Instantly, all the attributes were automatically integrated into his body by the system. The youth felt an extraordinary sensation as all the attributes were added. Now Qin Feng had strength points up to 463 plus, agility points reaching 461, and his mental strength reached 474 points. He also acquired many elemental talents such as controlling sand, controlling metal, and even controlling fire. Meanwhile, his combat ability had reached 47 stars. Qin Feng realized he had successfully obtained an F-ranking improvement in Indra from hunting these metal ants. He only lacked an increase in sensation. After releasing the power from hunting the general metal ant, it transformed into true strength, now 5 times stronger than before. After extracting from the ant queen, Qin Feng's metal control strength reached a D ranking. So, the youth could easily attach an iron armor to his body. However, he couldn't extract the ant queen's acid, which Qin Feng regretted. Additionally, because his mental control had been enhanced, combining with mind control, sand control, and metal control could form a deadly attack, piercing and stabbing. The damage created by this iron spear would increase. Qin Feng would try out this new spear power by piercing many ant monsters at once. The soul energy used when using this skill also only decreased by half, so he thought this skill was very good. Qin Feng had also awakened the talent of energy expenditure. The energy emitted was formed within the body to attack enemies just like inner chi. The energy was immense and could explode the target from a considerable distance. This energy could also be combined with weapons, thereby increasing the damage caused by those weapons. Nonchalantly, Qin Feng stretched his body, saying that the ability to pierce and shoot energy was enough to defeat ordinary monsters. Hellfire used a large amount of metal soul, so Qin Feng had to be careful when using it. But the youth still smiled happily because he had succeeded in obtaining a lot of loot. Qin Feng became even happier because he would start his main event, which was opening all the chests he had obtained. However, suddenly Lu Xian sent him a message and wanted to ask for a private chat room. Qin Feng was surprised and wondered why the number 2 person in village 911 was looking for him. Lu Xian immediately said that he had something interesting when the chat room was opened. The youth intended to trade with Qin Feng. Without much preamble, Qin Feng immediately asked what Lu Xian wanted. Lu Xian explained that he had a combination chest card, and he wanted to exchange it for the wolf blood sword. This combination chest card was a level 2 item. If this card was used, it could combine 5 low-ranking chests with a high-ranking chest. A reminder from the system said that this card could only be used on gold chests or chests with levels below it. Qin Feng thought that the silver chest only had a 2% chance of getting a rank 4 item, while the gold chest had a 98% chance of opening a rank 4 item and a 2% chance of a rank 5 item. Comparatively, 1 gold chest was indeed more valuable than 10 silver chests. Perhaps others couldn't acquire so many chests, making this card useless for them, but Qin Feng had many chests and deemed this card extremely valuable. Eventually, they both agreed to exchange. Lu Xian thanked Qin Feng for agreeing to the exchange. Afterward, Qin Feng immediately combined all the chests. He opened a gold chest and obtained a rank 4 item, the Wind God's Boots. These boots had a speed of 100 points, defense of 50 points, and 100% resistance to movement, fire, and water. When he opened the next gold chest, the young man successfully acquired another rank 4 items, the Illusion Shadow Necklace. This necklace had a mind power of 100 points and the ability to clone shadows. By consuming specific soul metal, the shadow clones could be solidified to fight independently. The system also noted that the clones could only possess half the combat capability of the main body. The shadow cloning skill needed to awaken a ranking C ability, the Sixth Sense. Qin Feng believed that all the rank 4 skills and equipment he obtained were extraordinary. He had 8 silver chests that could be combined into a gold chest. Now, Qin Feng wanted to post a purchase notice on the public channel for another chest combination card. In the first announcement, Qin Feng offered to exchange a Bear King's Steel War Armor, rank 2, for a rank 2 chest combination card. If someone was interested in this offer, they could contact Qin Feng through a private channel. As for the second offer, Qin Feng would exchange Dark Priangan Boots, rank 2, for a rank 2 Lightning combination card. Again, if someone was interested in this exchange, they could contact Qin Feng privately. Everyone started buzzing with excitement because Qin Feng was the one making the offers. Now, Qin Feng stood on the cliff and declared that he would welcome the second night in this end-of-world setting as soon as possible. With the help of the Wind King's boots, the young man was determined to confront the monster with the dog head. While destroying the monsters around him, the young man remarked that his speed had greatly increased after obtaining the Wind God's boots. Previously, it took him 3 hours, but now, it only took him 1 hour to kill monsters in the desert area. Qin Feng realized that when he reached the desert of the Lost Village, the village gate would soon appear. So, he decided to level up by killing all the monsters around the desert area first. Then, Qin Feng could experiment with his new abilities and acquire many attributes and other things. Currently, Qin Feng is at level 10, 217,000/230,000 EXP, meaning he is not far from leveling up. Qin Feng's combat skills were nearing their limit, at 49 stars. At the same time, Qin Feng had reached the limit for extracting level 10 wild monsters. Only levels 8 and 9 remain to reach the extraction limit. That's why Qin Feng went berserk in this area with considerable strength to quickly achieve his goal. Qin Feng even considered buying as many wild beast carcasses as possible. After Qin Feng successfully cleaned up the area, the earth trembled, and the lost village gate appeared. Qin Feng saw a large hole in the ground and jumped confidently. This time, Qin Feng landed gracefully thanks to all the power he had gained. Qin Feng thought that from now on, he would always land this gracefully. Qin Feng stood calmly, staring at the transparent dimensional gate in front of him. Slowly, an arm with claws emerged from the gate. Qin Feng smirked as he greeted the figure emerging from the dimensional gate as if they hadn't seen each other in a long time. With his current abilities, Qin Feng easily defeated the dog-headed monsters. This time, Qin Feng even managed to defeat them all, creating a powerful explosion. The dog-headed monsters were astonished at how Qin Feng had become so strong in such a short time. Qin Feng answered with a saying that one should be seen differently even if their separation lasted only 3 days. Yet, according to Qin Feng, it had only been 1 day, but the dog-headed monsters could no longer defeat him. The system appeared and revealed that the dog-headed monsters were Hell's troops, with a level of 10. Their combat power was 20 stars, and their characteristics were cruelty, bloodthirstiness, and ferocity. Their talent was empowered darkness, and their skill was using hellfire to cause damage. Qin Feng remembered that they had said the guardians of hell couldn't be killed, but now he knew the monster's weakness. And now, he would find a way. Qin Feng destroyed the head of the Hell Guardian monster, asking how they would resurrect themselves after their heads were blown up. The system appeared and announced that the killing of the Hell Guardian was successful. Thus, Qin Feng was entitled to 15 evaluation points and gained an additional 1000 EXP. With this, he obtained a piece of the Dark Village altar. The system also clarified that Qin Feng had to collect the 7 dark crystals to lift the demon altar seal, then release the demon and kill it to cleanse the village. The first 10 people from the Blue Star World to complete this mission would receive a gold chest and 20 attribute points. The first 10 people to complete the mission would also receive an additional 100% attribute points for their village. Qin Feng was the 7th person from the Blue Star World to activate this mission. The system urged the young man to hurry because time was running out. Qin Feng realized that the Blue Star World referred to by the system was his world. 6 others had obtained the scroll, so this youth immediately entered the other dimension and continued his mission. Qin Feng realized that there were many kinds of crawling creatures and hidden dragons in the Blue Star World, so if he didn't hurry, he might not be able to reach the top 10 ranks. Just as the youth entered the gateway to the other dimension, he was suddenly attacked by a fat man. Fortunately, Qin Feng managed to avoid it in time. The system appeared and announced that Village 911 had won the bet multiple times, so the mission became twice as difficult, and the fighting ability of evil creatures and rewards would also be increased in this mission. The system warned once again that Village 911 was the only village whose difficulty had been increased. The fat man told Qin Feng to die immediately before himself. But before the fat man could finish speaking, his head was cut off by the energy sword created by Qin Feng. The youth said the fat man's level meant nothing if he didn't have adequate strength. The system appeared and announced that Qin Feng had successfully killed a sealed demon follower at level 13, which was a king level. So Qin Feng was entitled to an additional 7,000 EXP points and an additional 100 consideration points. With this, Qin Feng successfully reached level 11 and obtained a dark crystal. A man with a ponytail appeared and said that the first fat man was just a pile of garbage. Qin Feng looked at the man with sharp eyes. Qin Feng read the information on the hologram screen about his opponent. The ponytailed man was also a sealed demon follower. The ponytailed man was at level 14, and his estimated combat power was 50 stars, while his talents and characteristics were kept secret. The origin of this ponytailed man was that he was previously a former beginner king but had been revived with dark energy after dying from an attack by evil demons. Qin Feng realized that the combat ability of this ponytailed man was extraordinarily high, seemingly because the mission difficulty was also increased. If Qin Feng died in this mission, it seemed he would also become a follower of that demon. Qin Feng honestly admitted that the ponytailed man did indeed look stronger than the fat one. They now faced each other and were on guard. The ponytailed man raised his spear and told Qin Feng not to bother with the fat one, who was like the bottom of a garbage can. Qin Feng retorted that the ponytailed man's words were too cruel to say to a deceased friend. They immediately engaged in combat with powerful weapons. Qin Feng taunted the ponytailed man, asking why he didn't leave immediately, and apologized to the spirit of the fat man now. The ponytailed man was furious and said Qin Feng was just a level 11 beginner. Nevertheless, the ponytailed man looked overwhelmed while holding off Qin Feng's sword. They both dodged each other's attacks, then Qin Feng quickly managed to hit the ponytailed man's face until he spat blood. Even the ponytailed man's body was thrown quite far and hit a large rock. However, the ponytailed man confidently said that Qin Feng had forgotten to mention that it was better not to touch his body parts because he could freeze anything just by touching it. With this ability, his opponent wouldn't be able to fight back and could only beg for mercy. Sure enough, Qin Feng's entire body slowly froze and was covered in ice. The ponytailed man approached with a confident smile. He shouted to retaliate against Qin Feng's blow earlier, saying he would crush him to pieces. Qin Feng could only remain silent as he saw his opponent starting to approach and prepare to thrust the spear at Qin Feng. But suddenly, the ponytailed man's body stiffened as his upper body was pierced by Qin Feng's iron spear. Thus, all the ice on Qin Feng's body slowly shattered. The system appeared and announced that Qin Feng had once again successfully killed a sealed demon follower at level 14. So the youth was entitled to receive 8,000 ISP and an additional 120 consideration points. Not to forget, Qin Feng also obtained a dark crystal. Qin Feng walked towards the body of the ponytailed man, saying he forgot to mention not to approach him because anyone would end up as an EXP bait to increase his level. Suddenly, there was a resounding cry of demons echoing in the dark sky. Qin Feng realized that the dark fog was thickening after hearing the demon clouds. Then slowly, from behind the dark fog, several figures appeared, walking toward Qin Feng. The system appeared and announced that the 4 people who had just appeared were sealed demon followers, each of them at king level 15. They were a man in warrior attire, a bald old man carrying a scythe, a teenager in a striking blue jacket, and a beautiful girl in hanfu attire. Qin Feng looked completely alert, realizing that the 4 people in front of him were not simple. Qin Feng smiled and said there should be 7 people because there should be 7 dark crystals. So the youth wondered why someone was missing. Just as the youth finished speaking, a beautiful girl suddenly appeared right behind him. Qin Feng was so surprised by the girl's presence because he hadn't felt anything behind him before. The girl smiled sweetly and then clasped her hands in front of her chest. Suddenly, Qin Feng became extremely dizzy to the point where he couldn't move his limbs. At that moment, Qin Feng seemed trapped in a beautiful illusion and entered a mysterious flower garden. Qin Feng saw the beautiful girl in white pajamas appearing in the garden. Unbeknownst to the youth, outside of this illusion, his opponent was preparing with a terrifying glare in his eyes. A girl floated down and landed in front of Qin Feng. Due to her beauty, Qin Feng felt mesmerized by her. Meanwhile, outside of Qin Feng's original body, a beautiful girl in hanfu remarked that Qin Feng's weakness must lie in his weak and lowly mind. This delighted the other members of her team, as they believed it was fitting for Qin Feng to receive after killing Bing Chen. Thus, Bai Ruo would surely go mad attacking Qin Feng later. Qin Feng was still mesmerized by the girl in her nightdress. She spoke and instructed Qin Feng to approach her, while he attempted to reach for her hand. At this moment, other demon guards tried to attack and surround Qin Feng from various angles. They said it was the perfect moment to attack Qin Feng. A man in armor leaped from behind Qin Feng and attempted to kill him with a large axe, but Qin Feng quickly realized the situation. With a swift move, Qin Feng found himself behind the warrior, and with one strike, he managed to cleave the warrior's body until it vanished, blood splattering everywhere. The other guards were shocked and couldn't believe what they had just witnessed, but Qin Feng quickly took advantage of the situation. He utilized the time he gained while they were all deceived, and one by one, he cut down the demon guards. Qin Feng then landed perfectly on the ground and stated that while they were all deceived, that was the perfect time to attack them. Instantly, all the remaining demon guards panicked at the sight. The girl in the nightdress appeared furious upon hearing what Qin Feng said, realizing that Qin Feng had been deceiving them from the start, as he was never affected by the illusion. Filled with rage, the remaining ones attacked Qin Feng together, exerting their full power. However, despite feeling strong enough, it turned out to be ineffective as Qin Feng easily defeated them and turned the tables. The 3 of them were cornered. Qin Feng managed to knock down the young man in the blue jacket and threw the bald old man far away onto a rock. Suddenly, the girl with the illusion talent was behind Qin Feng again, intending to attack, but Qin Feng noticed and swiftly struck her down. Unfortunately, the girl's body turned into countless rose petals, making Qin Feng believe he was under an illusion, even though he had already cleaved her before. Qin Feng found the girl's ability truly strange. He was sure she was hiding among the flying petals. However, the petals were even stranger as they could attack and harm Qin Feng's body. Qin Feng decided to distance himself and jumped into the air. Unfortunately, as he jumped, the petals turned into a long cloth that bound Qin Feng's body, causing him to fall to the ground. Qin Feng realized the mysterious girl had talents in illusion and manipulation of the earth. As Qin Feng fell, the illusionary girl appeared, laughing loudly, and Qin Feng found himself completely immobilized. The illusionary girl found Qin Feng very intriguing, noting that he was only level 11 but already capable of killing a spirit envoy at level 15. She was convinced Qin Feng held a secret. Knowing Qin Feng wouldn't tell her, she decided to kill him and then ask the Spirit King to examine Qin Feng's memories. But before that, Qin Feng had to pay the price for killing the demon guard comrades. Qin Feng had to be taught a lesson. The illusionary girl hurled Qin Feng's bound body in all directions, crashing into rocks and the ground, making Qin Feng realize her strength. With his limbs immobilized, the only way out was to destroy his crystal armor into pieces. As he did so, his body and the cloth would loosen. So Qin Feng slowly destroyed his crystal armor, allowing him to release the hellfire concentrated in his hands, then releasing it directly beneath where the illusionary girl was. Unable to avoid the hellfire attack, the illusionary girl felt intense pain, while Qin Feng freed himself from the petals and approached the helpless illusionary girl. She exclaimed about the pain and questioned why Qin Feng possessed so many talents. She considered him despicable and believed the gods should have killed him. Qin Feng only smiled and remarked on his audacity, then killed the illusionary girl with hellfire again. Afterward, the system stated that Qin Feng had successfully killed a level 16 spirit envoy with a king ranking, entitling him to 140 consideration points and 10,000 EXP. According to Qin Feng, the spirit envoy was far more intense than before and seemed likely to emerge from the altar. Qin Feng then placed the 7 dark crystal stones into the 7 holes of the dark pillar altar. This would remove the seal and release the spirit. The seal weakened, and the spirit would soon emerge. As energy gathered at the altar, a bright light also struck the altar forcefully from above. Thus, Qin Feng released the powerful spirit. After the spirit was released, a monstrous and terrifying creature appeared before Qin Feng, one he had never seen before. The system stated that the monster was level 17 with 71 stars, but skills and talents couldn't be checked. The monster then realized Qin Feng, who had killed its subordinates and destroyed its 100 years of hard work, was there. The monster attacked Qin Feng, who tried to hold it back despite feeling numb from its terrifying power. Qin Feng endured the attack until the goat monster struck him with its other hand, which Qin Feng couldn't evade, causing his body to be hit by the monster's attack. The monster thought that Qin Feng was dead because there was so much blood beneath him. The monster assumed Qin Feng was strong enough to kill his subordinates, but it was disappointing to find out that Qin Feng's abilities were only this much. However, Qin Feng managed to survive the attack and apologized for disappointing the monster. Qin Feng was grateful for the spikes embedded in his body, standing in front of him and deflecting half of the monster's attack. Then Qin Feng rolled to the side as the monster pressed down on him, leaving only his spikes behind. The monster was quite impressed with Qin Feng for surviving one attack and still being able to move quickly. He acknowledged Qin Feng's greatness. After rolling a little further away, Qin Feng, with his full strength and a combination of skills, tried to fight the monster, but it seemed to have no effect. Chasing Wind Sword and the spikes were unable to penetrate the monster's defense. Even the rank 3 Hellfire power 10x stronger couldn't harm the monster. After failing to break through the monster's defense, Qin Feng flew into the air and tried using the same rank 3 energy. Then he unleashed his power on the monster from above, but it still had no effect. The monster could easily withstand it. When Qin Feng was underneath, the monster said that Qin Feng was a cunning human who wasn't satisfied with strange movements. Qin Feng thought that if none of his attacks succeeded in harming the monster, then it seemed he would fail in this mission. The monster raised its claw and directed its attack towards Qin Feng swiftly, thinking that Qin Feng, being a novice village youth, must have weaknesses. He seemed to forget something. Meanwhile, Qin Feng could avoid the attack so quickly that he remembered something he hadn't tried yet. Then he coated his sword with energy and attacked the monster again at the joints, causing the monster to fall and writhing in pain. Since it was difficult to protect the joints, Qin Feng was sure that was the monster's weak point. The monster rose again, not defeated yet. It became angrier and threatened to tear Qin Feng's body apart. With its fists so fast, Qin Feng couldn't evade until finally, he was struck hard by the monster. Qin Feng was thrown far away, blood streaming from his mouth, and he lay helpless on the ground, but it didn't last long because he could still rise. Qin Feng knew that the monster's strength had increased to the point where he felt his bones were shattered. Fortunately, Qin Feng had extracted the talent of the girl in the white skirt, so the rank 2 healing skill automatically became rejuvenation, and healing injuries would only take a few seconds. With such a skill, even if he had a difference in attack, he could drain the opponent's strength until death. The monster was furious to see Qin Feng still standing and not dead yet, while Qin Feng confidently replied that even if the monster died, he wouldn't live. At that moment, the system informed me that some talents had killed the Wraith Messenger and successfully secured first place in the Azure planets. Knowing this, Qin Feng understood that 1 out of 10 slots had been taken, and he wouldn't waste any more time. Then Qin Feng attacked the monster again with all his might, delivering every blow to the monster repeatedly. However, he couldn't harm the monster's body at all. Then Qin Feng summoned Shadow Clone to fight the monster again. Shadow Clone only had a fraction of his strength, which Qin Feng found sad because he needed the sixth sense to connect with the clone. Before all that happened and before he unsealed the barley body, Qin Feng managed to unlock the rank 3 barley body. After consuming it, he received a rank F talent. Now his sixth sense was connected, and Shadow Clone could be used. Qin Feng, agile and swift, managed to strike his sword at the monster's upper arm, causing it to bleed. The monster went berserk and attacked until Qin Feng was thrown back, but he couldn't believe what was happening. How could Qin Feng be so strong? Since Qin Feng entered the village, the monster had been monitoring his strength, agility, physique, and mind, seeing the talent awaken, and according to him, everything Qin Feng had wasn't too strong. However, after Qin Feng killed by Ruo, Qin Feng said something strange, did something strange, and his body glowed, and the monster couldn't see inside his body anymore. The system continued to inform people who gained new ranks for killing monsters. Meanwhile, Qin Feng thought he used the third Inferno technique, Power, Thorn, and Poison. With that combo, he was confident he could hurt the monster. Qin Feng dashed swiftly and slashed his sword at the monster's body, causing it to bleed. Elsewhere, a group of talents formed into teams continued to monitor the progress of other talents from the system, which informed that some talents had successfully defeated monsters and achieved great ranks. One of them said that only 7 spots were left, which made him tense, but others felt strange because no one had managed to pass the half-day challenge. Why did they quickly one by one succeed in passing and getting into the top 10 since the first person passed the challenge? However, it seemed to indicate that the difference in strength between the top experts wasn't too significant, so their achievements were very close. Then others replied that their tasks in Village 911 were twice as difficult as in other villages, so the chance of entering the top 10 was very small. Even one of them didn't hope Qin Feng could enter the top 10, as long as Qin Feng was safe, it was good enough for him. If he failed this time, Qin Feng could try again tomorrow, but nothing fatal should happen to Qin Feng. Lu Xian said it was impossible because he had such faith in Qin Feng, who surely could succeed in getting into the top 10. Qin Feng breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, he managed to defeat the terrifying monster. With the sword still embedded in the monster's body, Qin Feng collapsed, feeling utterly exhausted from the battle. The system then congratulated him for Village 911 from Area 1 for entering the top 10 villages established on the Blue Star, entitling him to a special prize. The prize for establishing a village was a 200% increase in initial attributes. Due to the doubled difficulty level of the tasks, the task rewards also doubled. The first 10 individuals would receive 400 attribute points and 2 boxes of golden treasure. Receiving the task item, Blood of the Vengeful Demon Head, atop everything stood someone resembling a deity, stating that the final examination event was not a new beginning, but rather the most horrific nightmare. The protective barrier had been shattered, and divine punishment descended upon the earth. Witnessing the deity, people braced themselves. He was an existence even 100 men couldn't shake even a bit. As the village head, a man with a ponytail felt he couldn't protect the village, its inhabitants, teammates, or his loved ones. He felt like a failure. It was too much. The man with a ponytail attempted to defy the deity but failed, eventually dying with immense hatred. Then, with the power he possessed, the deity-like figure destroyed the village, burning it to the ground and annihilating every living being within. Meanwhile, a monster resembling a demon reveled in it, for it considered such potent hatred truly nourishing, eventually directing some of that hatred towards the village head. Qin Feng, witnessing this, didn't understand the village's true significance. After the village head's death, he transformed into a vengeful spirit controlled by the darkness demon. Thus, the lost village became the starting village of that vengeful spirit. The celestial guards were the final trial bestowed upon the starting village by the heavens, but how strong was that creature? Qin Feng found it troublesome. Elsewhere, a group of talented individuals was gathered, seemingly just completing a mission. One of them mentioned that the level 8 beast was too difficult to kill, and they almost died. Another said they didn't know when Boss So would establish the village. Someone else mentioned almost fainting after completing the task. They were slightly annoyed, mentioning that other villages acted as if they built the village themselves, whereas they finished their tasks earlier. They felt their task's difficulty was doubled if they weren't certain they'd be the first. One of them suggested trying to contact Boss Qin, and they did. Qin Feng replied that he would come as soon as possible. They discussed it and asked Qin Feng to hurry to build the village. In the chat room, Qin Feng suggested they find a name first before building the village. Then, team members provided some name suggestions, and they settled on the name Eternal Dragon Village. With the name decided, they finally established the village with the scroll, emitting a bright light visible to everyone, including the Lei Ju group, while Qin Feng's group was ecstatic about the village's establishment. Then, a system notification appeared for them to return to the village with a single click. One of Qin Feng's team clicked it, and their body disappeared, reappearing elsewhere. Meanwhile, everyone was delighted with the new feature, especially its speed. Everyone who could return to the village was pleased, with some even throwing a party for their return. However, shortly after, the villagers received a message that their village head, Qin Feng, had opened a video conference feature for the entire village, a feature only available to the village head. Qin Feng then informed everyone that after the beginner's trial, all starting villages had to face retaliation with 100 star power. The purpose of the retaliation was to destroy the beginners' wooden houses. Those who lost their beginners' wooden houses would become refugees and lose 100 attribute points. Upon hearing this, people began to panic, especially those with few stars. Qin Feng continued, stating that after successfully withstanding the retaliation, the village would receive many rewards, and if they could defeat the retaliation, the rewards would double. There were still 4.5 days left, and they needed to reach level 10 as soon as possible to pass the beginner's trial. Additionally, increasing the village level would grant them the right to build public buildings, protective altars. With protective altars, they could resist retaliation. To upgrade the village from level 0 to level 1, they had to meet 5 requirements. First, the population had to exceed 500, Longyuan village had already met this requirement. Second, the village head must obtain the title of Novice Emperor. Third, the village head's wooden house must reach level 2, once it reaches level 2, he would fulfill 2 points. Fourth, the number of level 1 wooden houses must exceed 100. Fifth, the number of level 10 players must exceed 10. The last 2 were quite cumbersome and required everyone to work together. Then, the system notified them of the updated materials, and the villagers cooperatively upgraded. After closing the village meeting, Qin Feng tried to find materials for the village but was pleasantly surprised to find some already prepared nearby. After upgrading his wooden house, the villagers were astonished and delighted, feeling that Qin Feng was indeed great. Then, an announcement came that the number of villages built in the Blue World had reached 100. From that day, the village upgrade tournament would begin. In the village of Yongye, District 9321, Blue Star World. Vampire Marquis John Blass and Vampire Prince Dracula killed the villagers there. At least 914 people in the village had all become members of the vampire clan. Dracula said that soon he would become the strongest in the Star World because the next goal of the Yongye village was to enter the top 3 in the village promotion competition. Tyando had given a big prize this time. For the top 3 villages that had reached level 3, all village residents would get 500 attribute points, and the village head would reach 1,000 attribute points. Dracula gave blood to humans who had just been bitten by John, making the humans' eyes turn red and start to become like vampires, running so fast. Dracula continued that with that reward, they would surely dominate the Blue Star World. John then said that anyway, Dracula had to be promoted to level 3 before the end of the rookie assessment, and there were less than 5 days left. Competition difficulty. Dracula said not to worry, only the Wuzhuangwen village, Guangming village, and Brahma village could threaten the Yongye village, while the Longyuan village, the 5th village, would be established. There might be leading experts in the Eastern Dragon Kingdom, but that couldn't change the overall disease gene. Qin Feng began to build his new village with the talents he had, although 1,000 attribute points were his main problem after all the attribute rewards obtained previously were added. He still had 83 combat power stars and the title of Magic Emperor. If he could get those 1,000 attributes in the village competition, maybe he could try to defeat the Heavenly Punisher. The third requirement needed for a village to rise from level 0 to level 1 in the beginner's cabin to the village was raised to level 2. Currently, he only had one level 1 resource, a cold stone to upgrade the beginner's cabin. And by chance, the stone was produced in Lake Chioshui, where the Horned Turtle King was located. Both tasks could be completed simultaneously. Then Qin Feng distributed material resources to Longyuan village. The residents were very happy about it. After that, Qin Feng could open the exchange channel function and natural resources. In the exchange channel, he could donate items to get contribution points. Contribution points could be exchanged for items donated by others. He could also exchange the materials he needed in the heavenly resource, such as pots and pans, oil, salt, sauce, and vinegar. In the heavenly resource, there was a primary energy stone that could gain 100 energy points after being absorbed. Meaning there was a new way to get energy points without killing monsters. Meanwhile, village residents with low or non-combat talents had other ways to survive in the future. Lifetime jobs like woodworkers, miners, and butchers would be passed down. The abundant resources in Longyuan village were enough to support professionals in that life, and it made them have to continue to improve at a good pace. Qin Feng was confident that in the future, Yanjian village would become more colorful. He then dived into the lake but realized he couldn't dive. He felt carried away and almost died for no reason. Unbeknownst to him, there was a very large fish opening its mouth right under Qin Feng's body. He almost got eaten by the fish but quickly managed to avoid it and joined the body part of the fish swimming into the lake. This was exploited by Qin Feng to extract animals, and he gained a C-rank talent which gave him the true meaning of water. After successfully extracting the animal, he finally got gills on his face, allowing him to breathe underwater. This talent couldn't have come at a better time. In the lake, there were many fish monsters. Qin Feng finally stored the fish in a container, and he also rode a crocodile as a vehicle. Lake Chioshui was too big, an hour had passed and not a single ice stone was found. Then he forced the crocodile, which was his vehicle, not to intentionally meander to prolong the time. According to the crocodile, they were almost there. When continuing the journey, Qin Feng saw turtles spinning. And in the middle of the rocks, he saw green turtles. As he looked behind the rocks, there were more turtles, including the horned king turtle. With analyze eye, he observed the turtles. Then he asked the crocodile to move away from there because it would be irresponsible if the crocodile accidentally died later, but if the crocodile fled, he would find it to the ends of the earth and he would roast and eat it. The horned king turtle was a fierce animal with a level 15 evaluation, 50-star combat talent with level C ice manipulation skill. Qin Feng thought he had to get the third king's heart core first, then take the cold stone. As he exerted his power, the turtles realized it and made the horned king turtle angry because he didn't like a level 11 human insulting him. Qin Feng tried to attack the king turtle by releasing his power, but it had no effect. Instead, he felt another energy like a terrifying electric shock that sent him flying. The king turtle ordered the other turtles to line up and attack Qin Feng. Meanwhile, Qin Feng thought about the previous battles with Mammoth and Agas, but they didn't have tactics and couldn't muster all their strength together to attack a single target. The turtle group was very ingenious. They became stronger if they all joined together. The king turtle stored its power energy in its mouth, then focused it and released it like an arrow directly attacking Qin Feng. When he got that attack, he immediately dodged quickly because he knew if he got hit he would surely die. After that, the king turtle ordered the other turtles to attack with the same power. Qin Feng continued to run to avoid the attacks from the turtles. He knew that the Inferno Flame could not be used underwater and attacks of gold, wood, soldiers, and energy all weakened. The wild beasts in the water had the advantage in their territory. So even though Qin Feng was stronger than them, it would be difficult to kill them all in one move. Meanwhile, on the other side, the turtles continued to unleash their arrow-shaped powers to attack Qin Feng, until one of the arrows hit his body and Qin Feng fell, but he managed to get up and hide in a safer place. The Turtle King then ordered the other turtles to search for Qin Feng. Eventually, they found Qin Feng. While Qin Feng was still hiding, he removed the arrow stuck in his leg. If he left the water, he had to find a way to catch the thief first, or else they would be in trouble. Qin Feng then used the phantom clone to create a copy of himself. He then instructed the clone to change positions to create chaos and not to be attacked harshly. The clone understood, and eventually, he came out and alternated with another clone, acting as bait. Meanwhile, the original Qin Feng remained hidden behind the rocks. And he felt that it was time to start as well. He couldn't use any skills or he would be discovered. But shortly afterward, the phantom clone was destroyed. The Turtle King realized something was amiss, while Qin Feng approached the Turtle King from behind running. Then the Turtle King realized it, but he attacked first. The Turtle King struck him from above on the head. Finally, he managed to kill the Turtle King, who had the level of a king, and obtained the Royal Heart Core quest item. The system said his level had been promoted to level 12. Qin Feng knew that the turtle group no longer had a leader. After the Turtle King died, it was time to harvest. With the clones he had, Qin Feng harvested the turtles, and his talent automatically strengthened until he could evolve into a Grade B Ice Elemental Mystery. The self-arising skill was Ice Storm. Ice Storm was Tier 4 and could release ice arrows and snow to form a large-scale ice and snowstorm, covering an area of 10 miles. Qin Feng said attacking and killing skills were extremely rare, this time with a collection of celestial skills. Meanwhile, shortly afterward, the crocodile that had been his ride arrived and said that the cold stone left in front of him had just risen. In his mind, it was the right time. Killing a single-horned Turtle King was not someone to be reckoned with. If he handled it well, he might release it later. After that, he had to hurry to meet his wife as soon as possible and would not return there again. Qin Feng rode the crocodile and left. Meanwhile, in a different place like the realm of the goddesses, a woman resembling a goddess looked at a photo belonging to Qin Feng. She said that it was only the third day and a human from the small world had received the third royal heart core. A human from the Shaoqian world. She thought Qin Feng was quite impressive. She wished they could speak to me. Another goddess interjected, saying not to think about it. Humans in the Shaoqian world were weak and lacked inherent abilities. Even if he almost reached the level of Earth, he would not be able to withstand the 10,000 realm war, let alone meet them. The other goddess said that the village where the human named Qin Feng was located had multiplied its resources many times over, and the difficulty level of the tasks had increased. The greatest difficulty was not obtaining the 5 kings' heart cores. It was the battle in Zhuolongpo. Then she hoped that Qin Feng would surprise them. Qin Feng had already left the lake and was sitting calmly. Qin Feng was on an eagle. But he felt something was odd. Lu Yuan's level was always lower than Lu Xian's. So how could he surpass it in just 1 hour? Qin Feng wondered what needed to be done to make the upgrade speed faster. Qi Jia was also very strange. They had never entered the top 10 before. Then he looked at the energy stone chat, which made him wonder why the energy stone was so popular. But eventually, he understood something. If those two people made a lot of money, they were chicken thieves. Donating beginner weapons to get 2 contribution points. Compliant energy was worth 10 contribution points, but the buying and selling price Lu Yuan and Qin Jid exchanged on the channel was 1 energy stone for 10 beginner weapons. That way, he would get 10 contribution points, and then exchange them for energy stones to absorb and enhance. That's why his speed would be very fast. Beginner weapons were the most common resources in the beginner village, conservatively estimated to have at least 100,000 beginner weapons not owned in a district. Exchanging all of them for contribution points could support many people to quickly level up to level 10. As Qin Feng was still flying, he realized something, and it turned out there was a group of people below. One of them said if Long Yuan village worked hard from top to bottom, and if it continued to grow like that, Long Yuan village would become more confident in facing the Punisher. Meanwhile, another person teased a little girl and hugged her until she fell, saying if the little girl had no value at all, it would be a loss. The girl screamed in fear and said that she had given all the supplies she had. Why didn't they leave her alone? From the flying bird, Qin Feng, who knew about it, became angry and released his finger full of energy toward those wicked people. Qin Feng said they were unworthy of being human. Qin Feng knew that such levels of crime could not be avoided. In this cruel and cold world full of murder, everything experienced seemed like an endless race that was visible. Some people followed the rules and bowed their heads. Then some quietly sought opportunities to exploit and conspire with others for their gain, winning by undermining others. The only thing Qin Feng could do was to become stronger. As much as possible, this young man wanted to end things like this so they wouldn't happen in Longyuan village. Qin Feng helped the girl descend from the back of the bird, then instructed her that upon returning to the beginner village, she must warn everyone to be cautious of the likes of those robbers. The girl agreed readily. After the girl safely landed in the right place, Qin Feng rode the bird again to fly away. Flying above his village, Qin Feng pondered that after Longyuan village was upgraded, they needed to learn village chief authority. It would be beneficial if there was a function to issue wanted posters when robbers dared to commit crimes in their territory. Qin Feng said with a sharp look as he promised to make those criminals beg for their lives like rats in a sewer. Having mastered the technique of controlling flying animals, Qin Feng could save a lot of time on his journey. Unfortunately, all the wild animals he encountered now were too low level, and none were worthy of being tamed as spirit pets. It would be delightful if he could open a treasure chest at another time and find spirit animals. Now, Qin Feng stood on a cliff activating the eye analysis to see a row of flowers spread beneath him. These plants were often called cannibal flowers with a level 15. Although only flowers, their combat power reached 24 stars. Qin Feng leaped into the midst of these terrifying plants with his sword and iron spear ready to fight. Qin Feng mercilessly slashed at the flowers without any pity. Even though the flowers pleaded for help and cried out in pain, the young man felt no mercy at all. These flowers could scream and beg for mercy when in pain. Qin Feng was very annoyed because they were so noisy. The flowers kept screaming in pain until Qin Feng stopped slashing and covered one of his ears. Several giant flowers appeared, also screaming in pain because the small flowers were being cut down. These flowers said they had to kill Qin Feng. So they used pink-colored poison to pollute the air. Qin Feng immediately jumped back, seeing the abundant poisonous smoke. Qin Feng knew that severed body parts of these plants could regenerate. No wonder the system said the nature of these plants was eternal. That was the privilege of level 15 demon plants. Nevertheless, Qin Feng refused to lose to these plants. Qin Feng prepared his weapons and spear to attack the giant flowers in front of him again. Although they were called demon plants, they could still feel pain every time a part of their body was severed. The giant flower plants fled helter-skelter as they realized their opponent was too strong. The flowers tried to run in panic because Qin Feng was not only strong but also immune to poison. Qin Feng was surprised to see the giant plants trying to escape. With a single slash, Qin Feng managed to kill a level 15 mystical cannibal flower, gaining 820 energy points. Qin Feng also managed to obtain a greenwood core, the material needed to upgrade a level 3 wooden house. Qin Feng commented that the plants were clever enough, but they were too slow to flee. The young man concluded that ordinary swords could cut demon flowers, and demon flowers could regenerate but couldn't regenerate after being burned by very hot hellfire. By killing in this way, Qin Feng would soon get 110,000 energy points. So without hesitation, Qin Feng jumped onto one of the wide-open monster flowers. Qin Feng stabbed right in the middle of the monster flower's mouth, instantly drying it up on the spot. With this victory, the system appeared and informed Qin Feng that his battle power had been raised to the limit of 87 stars. The speed of increasing strength like this was excellent according to the system. Qin Feng then continued his steps to enter the cave where the parent tree was located. Qin Feng activated the eye analysis to inspect all the monsters in the cave. The young man saw many bees in one hive. Qin Feng said there were too many poisonous bees. If he were surrounded by those bees, no matter how strong he was, if there was a defense leak, the bee attacks would surely be unavoidable. It seemed Qin Feng had to try the skill he had just acquired. The young man immediately raised one hand to the sky, creating a powerful blue wind. Then a storm cloud slowly formed directly above the swarm of bees. From that dark cloud emerged many ice spears. Qin Feng said that this was his newest skill, a level 4 talent, Ice Storm. With that, a rain of ice arrows immediately hit all the bee monsters. With the numerous monster killings performed, Qin Feng immediately reached level 15 and successfully gained 850 energy points. Qin Feng had truly managed to level up quickly. The entire area was now covered in snow due to the ice storm caused by Qin Feng. The young man smiled relievedly and commented that the results he obtained were as expected from a level 4 skill. 3,000 poisonous bees were killed with just one move. Qin Feng said now it was the big tree's turn. Although it looked like an old, almost dead tree, it turned out to be a level 16 demon plant. Its combat power even reached 53 stars. Slowly emerging from the large tree's body was a woman who said this was a rare occurrence. Rarely did humans dare to enter this place. The woman stretched out her sharp hands in all directions and said she longed for human flesh and blood as her nourishment. The tree called forth demon flowers again and released the queen bee from its hive. The tree-shaped woman instructed the queen bee to kill Qin Feng. The queen bee was a level 15 monster, and its combat power reached 47 stars. Not afraid to see a friend flying very fast and strong towards her, Qin Feng instead said it was the right time. Qin Feng controlled several queen bees to attack each other until in an instant, many other queen bees fell and were severely injured. The golden bee queen attempted to attack Qin Feng, although the other bees under Qin Feng's control obstructed her. The bee queen then fought off each bee one by one until some of them stuck to her body while others charged at the bee queen until she exploded. The system stated that if Qin Feng successfully defeated the skilled golden bee queen, a strange object from heaven and earth would explode, calling for the old golden bee queen number 4. Qin Feng was quite pleased that his tactic of killing the bee queen from 2 directions using other bees had worked. Then he told the old wooden demon that by using control over wild animals to awaken them to fight against him, Qin Feng placed hellfire on the bodies of those bees. The old wooden demon didn't believe what Qin Feng said, even though he also mastered the talents of ice and fire, which were entirely different. How could Qin Feng do that? Qin Feng replied that after the controlled venomous bees touched their target, he would activate hellfire to make them explode. Although it was a method to injure 800 enemies and injure oneself 1,000, wasn't the result quite good? After that, Qin Feng wrapped his sword with hellfire and approached the old wooden demon. Shortly after, he disappeared, then reappeared right above the old wooden demon and swung his sword. The old wooden demon tried to withstand Qin Feng's attack with his tough branches, but they were easily cut through by Qin Feng. The old wooden demon couldn't believe it, even acknowledging Qin Feng's extraordinary abilities, which could even withstand his own regenerative abilities. She knew that if it continued like this, she would easily die. However, the old wooden demon had another trick, albeit with great risk. Then she released a massive purple aura, which Qin Feng had been waiting for, and his body was enveloped in the energy from the old wooden demon. However, suddenly Qin Feng's body rapidly aged, and he couldn't believe what was happening to him. Moreover, the energy also entered his body rapidly. Qin Feng felt like the old wooden demon was trying to kill him by making him older in that mysterious energy field. Qin Feng thought it was quite good, so he used the rejuvenation skill he had. He unleashed the skill, but it didn't work properly because the energy mist was inhaled and entered his body. Qin Feng then tried to burn it with hellfire, but instead, the fire came out of both his ears. Qin Feng felt pain, he even vomited blood, but what he did worked well, destroying the shield made by the old wooden demon instantly. Once again, the old wooden demon was stunned and couldn't believe that Qin Feng easily destroyed her shield. But Qin Feng felt it wasn't bad, even though it almost hit him. Then he coated his punches with hellfire and tried to attack, but the old wooden demon instead bowed down and knelt in front of Qin Feng, confusing him. The old wooden demon, with a pained expression, said she didn't know Taishan with her eyes, so she offended Qin Feng, and she apologized to him. She begged and said that she was just a tree that hadn't hurt anyone in 180 years. According to the old wooden demon, people who came would target the king's heart, but this time, she was willing to sacrifice it. Qin Feng, seeing this, was confused, he wasn't sure what was happening. He wondered if all tree demons and flower demons had such characters. Did they beg directly at the last moment? The old wooden demon showed the core of the wooden king she had been guarding all this time. Meanwhile, in fact, this was just a way for the old wooden demon to buy time so that her plan would succeed. After her children, like pitcher plants, rose and became strong, she would surely kill Qin Feng. But before that, she would prolong the time. The old wooden demon said that there was also a battle pet egg from the Hulwan battle pet lineage that must be given to Qin Feng as an apology. Hulwan was the descendant line of the legendary sacred beast Suzaku, very powerful and capable of reaching earth-level strength, which was very suitable for Qin Feng. The old wooden demon gave the egg so humbly that she herself felt foolish. Then her children finished gathering strength and finally rose above Qin Feng's back. Qin Feng realized this and said that the movement behind him was very harsh, he couldn't even notice it. Then, with his hellfire, Qin Feng easily cut and finished off those plants. Qin Feng told the old wooden demon that he thought a level 16 old wooden demon would have more special advice than other king-level monsters, so it seemed he had hoped too much. The old wooden demon couldn't believe that her power was defeated quickly, and without waiting any longer, Qin Feng directly beheaded the demon without any resistance. After defeating the old wooden demon, he gained points and rewards. He also extracted the old demon's body and obtained her talent. Likewise, with the egg from earlier. Qin Feng meditated to hatch the egg. The system said that because it was a Hulwan battle pet egg, he could hatch a human-level warrior, a Luan, which could be hatched and purified with blood essence. Qin Feng then gave his consent and summoned his tier battle pet. Before long, the egg hatched, revealing a tiny and adorable baby bird. Qin Feng gently touched the bird's head affectionately. The bird became angry and displayed its magnificent bird talent. Qin Feng mentioned that the bird's talent challenged the heavens, and by using spiritual power, its combat strength could increase by 60%, making it as strong as 80 animals in battle. This would ensure a 10% greater certainty of defeating the Punisher. Qin Feng then gave the little bird the name Xiao Luan. Xiao Luan was his combat pet hatched with his blood essence, hence Qin Feng and Xiao Luan shared a bond akin to relatives. Qin Feng was confident that Xiao Luan's loyalty would be unmatched in the world of assassination. With Qin Feng's psychic power, he could understand Xiao Luan's thoughts, facilitating seamless communication between them. Xiao Luan then expressed hunger and a strong desire to eat. Qin Feng inquired whether Xiao Luan preferred human flesh or animal meat, as he seemed inclined to retaliate against those who had previously irritated him. Later, Qin Feng and Xiao Luan flew away from there using a dragon, as Xiao Luan was too small to fly with him. Qin Feng had to settle for a flying creature as his mount. Meanwhile, Xiao Luan continued to whine with hunger. Luckily, he did not eat humans like other wild beasts, otherwise, Qin Feng wouldn't know how to raise Xiao Luan. Hearing Qin Feng's words, Xiao Luan pouted slightly, stating that he wasn't a wild beast but a powerful mythological creature, unmatched by any other. Soon after, Qin Feng and Xiao Luan, who had fallen asleep, arrived at the volcano of Hellfire, a terrifying place with scorching red lava. In the midst of the lava, countless eyes were visible, and soon, terrifying monsters emerged, revealing themselves as level 16 lava fire spirits. Seeing them, Xiao Luan felt they were like great food and, ignoring Qin Feng's attempts to stop him, descended upon the monsters. Xiao Luan swiftly attacked the lava fire spirit, easily defeating them without any resistance. He quickly devoured them all. Qin Feng couldn't believe Xiao Luan had killed the monsters and even gained energy points. This was advantageous. Xiao Luan's abilities surpassed those of the lava fire spirits, allowing him to train there first. The system announced that after successfully killing the level 16 lava fire spirit, a spiritual certificate would be revealed. Elf Key, Tier 2 item, the card box can be used to gain prestige points, and the personal usage limit is 10. Then Qin Feng held the elf voucher he obtained, considering it quite good. When the item reached a certain point, he could obtain a title bestowed by the heavens, which could enhance his attributes. For instance, if Xiao Luan reached 10 prestige and became a novice elite, an additional 20 points in the four-dimensional goal could be added. There were 3,000 lava fire spirits there, and if he killed them all, he would have at least 100 spirit certificates. The remainder could be put into the channel of change to help the villagers of Longyuan village improve their strength and reach level 10 as soon as possible. Xiao Luan had defeated many lava fire spirits, causing them to be terrified. Xiao Luan then faced the Lava Fire King, and their fierce battle seemed evenly matched. Meanwhile, Qin Feng continued to check the system's information. Even a 52-star Lava Fire King was no match for Xiao Luan, so there was nothing to worry about. Feeling that Xiao Luan and the Lava Fire King were fine, Qin Feng checked the condition of Longyuan village. Upon seeing the village's situation, Qin Feng was grateful for its development. 9 people in Longyuan village had reached level 10 or higher, and the title of Novice King had been obtained before defeating the Xiangui King. The beginner village chief's wooden house was upgraded when he found the essence after defeating the Black Tortoise King. Qin Feng knew that Longyuan village now had 95 first-class wooden houses, which was quite satisfying, and the village as a whole would soon be upgraded. Qin Feng wondered if anyone else was engaged in unprofitable business ventures. Qin Feng speculated whether there might still be some hidden mission information in the remnants of the Lightbringer. The system announced that when Longyuan village was upgraded to level 10, the 10th person to complete the novice village assessment would be awarded a bronze treasure chest. The first 100 first-class houses in Longyuan village had been upgraded and completed. The system also reminded that Yongyuan village had met the standards for level 1 village upgrades, and its people could choose one key return to the village from the village chief's interface. Hearing this, Qin Feng felt it was excellent, especially since Xiao Luan was so quick and efficient. Meanwhile, Xiao Luan continued to fight against the Lava Fire King with his considerable strength, even evading every attack from the Lava Fire King. Until suddenly, the massive lava hand almost touched Xiao Luan, and it seemed Xiao Luan was overwhelmed and starting to struggle. He asked Qin Feng to save him. Hearing this, Qin Feng swiftly dashed toward Xiao Luan, intending to destroy the Lava King's hand with an ice storm but failed. Eventually, Qin Feng teleported himself away from there, taking Xiao Luan with him. The Lava Fire King remarked that someone from the small world could grow into an emperor-level electric generator among the novices in such a short time. Meanwhile, Qin Feng and Xiao Luan arrived elsewhere. Qin Feng knew it was very dangerous, but fortunately, he used the one-key return to the village skill in time, otherwise, his life would have been in danger. After that, Qin Feng prioritized upgrading the village. As a result, Longyuan village was upgraded from level 0 to level 1. The system congratulated all the village residents for being blessed by the surge and receiving 50 attribute rewards. Also, as the village chief, Qin Feng was blessed with 100 attribute rewards. Night fell in the Blue Star Realm, Eternal Night Village, on the edge of the Autumn Lake. Dracula, who had been at the lake, said he finally obtained the Frost One. When he upgraded the village chief's wooden house to level 2, he would have the authority to upgrade the village to level 1. John responded by saying that there was no stronger force in the Blue Star Realm than their Eternal Night Village, and becoming number 1 was not a big issue. Dracula was so happy, but his happiness vanished when there was information from the system that the first level 1 village in the Blue Star Realm had been upgraded. Elsewhere, Qin Feng casually checked on the condition of his village, including the well-upgraded wooden houses which were at level 3. Fortunately, Qin Feng had all the materials to upgrade his house, including the facilities inside such as the kitchen, bedrooms, and others. In the level 3 beginner's cabin, the rest and energy recovery speed quadrupled while not sleeping, and it increased 5 times faster while asleep. Calmly, Qin Feng and Xiaoluan soaked in the hot spring. Even though it had only been 3 days since they arrived in that world, it felt like they hadn't enjoyed it for a long time. There were 4 days left. If he didn't reach level 3, he wouldn't be able to get the village competition prize, and he wouldn't be able to queue with the Punisher. It would be better if there were more ways to gain attributes. Shortly after, Shasa appeared, the customer service who would answer all questions, greeted the people in Longyuan Village. Shasa then congratulated Longyuan Village for the chance to double the prize. Doubling the difficulty of village improvement and still winning the village competition. Then the prize was doubled, the village chief was given 2,000 attribute points, and the village residents were given 1,000 attribute points. Then Qin Feng was given 10 minutes to think and make his choice. Qin Feng thought if the original update condition was almost reached, it was unknown what materials and conditions were needed to maintain the altar. If it took 1 to 2 days, then there was not much time left to upgrade the village to level 3. For Qin Feng, the opportunity was too rare. If successful, Longyuan Village would no longer worry about the judgment of punishment surge. Meanwhile, the villagers outside watched. Some of them thought it was strange, while others said that the existence of Longyuan Village now depended on Qin Feng, and of course, Qin Feng asked them to do whatever they would do. According to them, if it weren't for Qin Feng, they might already be dead, and they trusted Qin Feng. Then Qin Feng agreed to the challenge, just as there were only 39 seconds left. The system informs all the villagers that every time the village of Yuyuan advances to a higher level, the rewards from the heavenly path will double. Starting now, if the village of Yuyuan wins the material village competition, the rewards will indeed double. But there are also other villages that have advanced levels, such as the Longjian village, which has successfully advanced to level 2. To reach level 2, a village must have a population of more than 1,000 people. The cabin owned by the novice village head must also be upgraded to level 3. In that village, the level 1 wooden houses have already reached more than 400. In that village, the number of players with level 10 has reached 40 people. The system reminds that only when these conditions are met can the authority to create a new guardian altar be released. A young man named Lu Yuan immediately said that their village would have no hope and would be destroyed. Because the first requirement for leveling up is to have a population of more than 1,000 people, while the total population of the village is currently only 937 people. Everyone starts to panic upon hearing this. They are worried that their village will indeed be destroyed. They wonder where they can get a population exceeding 1,000 people? If their village's population is not enough, even if other conditions are met, the village's level will not be increased. Clearly, all the villagers begin to panic and wonder what they should do to solve this problem. At that moment, Qin Feng, as the village head, asked everyone not to worry. Because he is currently undertaking a task to unlock the level C map. After completing this mission, all villagers can quickly open up and go to the big world to recruit villagers. The system doll says friendly customer service after completing the task of unlocking the map, then residents can find the Shantian temple and use the teleportation array inside. Users can also go to the designated novice village to recruit villagers. All the novice village residents immediately smiled happily upon hearing the news. They are relieved to be able to recruit other residents from outside the village. This way, they can survive and complete this mission. Qin Feng gave a comprehensive message to all his people not to worry because they just need to love each other often because blood is thicker than water. And Qin Feng will try his best to save all the village residents. With enthusiasm, Qin Feng said that this task is very difficult and he will divide the work for all of them and deploy the village's combat power in an integrated manner to accelerate the progress of this task. Instantly all the village residents cheered upon hearing their village head's announcement. All the villagers will listen to Qin Feng for the success of this mission. The system provides a new skill in the form of resident equipment. With this, the village head can activate a resident tracking system that allows checking the location of all village residents at any time. The system also provides voice command skills. With this ability, the village head can activate a voice command system that can issue commands to village residents at any time. These are 2 new management and control rights added after the village upgrade. Qin Feng explained once again that their village needs a lot of wood and stone to build level 1 wooden houses and level 2 wooden houses. From now on, all those below level 40 will cut wood and collect stone. Meanwhile, the top 10 players must go to the Politan Mountain on the west side of the Li Luo grassland where there is iron ore. While the main task for ranks 1 to 40 is to sprint to level 10. The energy stone business run by Lu Yuan and Qi Jie is temporarily taken over by them, and no one else is allowed to intervene. Qin Feng also announced that he had placed the required ice stones for the level 2 novice cabin in the contribution channel and everyone can exchange them as needed. This young man donated 100 cold ice stones to the Longyuan village and earned 2,000 contribution points. Qin Feng was determined that within 2 days they should bring the village to level 2. Seeing the determination of the village head, all the villagers agreed and responded loudly. Qin Feng thought it shouldn't be a problem dealing with the Fire Demon King with combat power like now, but their equipment still needed upgrading. Right at this moment, Qin Feng took out several treasure chests he had obtained. Qin Feng was relieved that the synthetic treasure chest card and silver chest were enough. With this, Qin Feng successfully obtained a level 2 synthetic gold treasure chest. From the treasure chest, there was a level 5 Dark Night Sky Knife Sword. This sword's attack power was more than 300 points, its speed was over 130%, and the damage it caused was more than 100%. Additionally, the dark power reinforcement exceeded 100%. Qin Feng held the sword with happiness. He felt that obtaining this magical knife was like a tiger with wings. Qin Feng would soon meet the Fire Demon King. By pressing the return button once, Qin Feng returned to the Hellfire Mountain. Upon landing safely on the other side of the mountain, he saw a large lotus flower blooming in the middle of the lava. The flower was called the Fiery Red Lotus. It originated from the blood of a fire phoenix that partially turned into this flower upon its death. While staring at the flower carefully, someone suddenly shouted, calling Qin Feng and asking him to look towards them. A child stood on the other side of the mountain and said he knew that Qin Feng had high courage, but could he look at the child first? Qin Feng asked who the child was. The system explained that the child was a human of the Emperor race with a level 18 level. Combat power was 99 stars. Despite looking like a child, this creature was extremely dangerous. The child walked casually on the very hot volcano. He smiled and said it was a pity the baby bird was too fragile, but he only lightly pinched its neck, and then the bird died. The clan immediately condemned the child for not raising the bird properly and wanted to execute him. He thought the attitude of the people in his clan was very annoying. So without guilt, this child decided to kill them all. His wide smile when talking about murder felt very terrifying. The child later added that God said it was okay for him to roam freely like this. So, God allowed the child to stay on the mountain and gave him the name Fire Demon King. Suddenly, the child jumped very close to Qin Feng. Obviously, the taller youth was startled to see the child suddenly in front of his face. The child honestly said that he was very curious about Qin Feng. He wondered how a human in the small world could become an emperor in such a short time. Sensing the dangerous presence of the child, Qin Feng quickly swung his sword to make him step back a few steps. The child apologized because he didn't expect his opponent to be so shy. Ignoring the child's words, Qin Feng asked what he meant by the small world. Qin Feng remembered the mummy he had encountered earlier came from the 1,000 central worlds. He wondered if this world was divided into 1,000 big worlds, 1,000 medium worlds, and 1,000 small worlds? And Qin Feng speculated that people in the 1,000 central worlds would be stronger. The little Fire Demon King said it was useless for Qin Feng to ask so many questions because it was pointless for him to know about it. Because the little Fire Demon King would start his task by creating fire from his palms and summoning some fire dragons from within the lava. There were quite a few fire dragons, and they had combat power of 37 stars. The little Fire Demon King immediately ordered the fire dragons to attack Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng quickly swung his sword and said that if the combat power of the dragons was only 37 stars, then the little Fire King underestimated him. Qin Feng threw ice blades that went straight into the mouths of the dragons and destroyed them. Xiao Luan didn't want to lose to the dragons. The little phoenix bird rushed towards the big dragons quickly and immediately cut the dragons' bodies. The system appeared and reported that Qin Feng had successfully killed the glazed fire dragon level 18. Thus, he gained an additional 4,100 energy points and also obtained a 3-point reputation flame burst. While avoiding the flames of one of the dragons, Qin Feng wondered what the function of the fire blaze was. Then, Qin Feng jumped towards the big dragon that opened its mouth and slashed its mouth right in the middle. Seeing Qin Feng's agility in combat, the little fire demon king laughed and applauded. Then the little fire demon king stretched out his hands, thinking he wanted to see how strong a level 15 village leader was. The swirling waves of hot lava controlled by the little fire demon king immediately made Qin Feng and Xiao Luan alert. Suddenly, a monster emerged from the magma, so big and terrifying. He announced that the opponent had turned into a demon. Xiao Luan immediately hid behind Qin Feng because it was the monster that previously reached out with a big hand to grab Xiao Luan. Initially, Qin Feng looked worried seeing the monster, but then he opened his analysis eyes to see the monster's status. With only 100 stars, Qin Feng thought he could still win against the monster. The magma monster followed the movements of the little fire demon king as it lifted its arm and attacked Qin Feng. The monster's punch was so powerful that it caused the volcano to explode, and Qin Feng was thrown far away. But the fire demon king knew Qin Feng wasn't dead yet. He thought Qin Feng was very lucky this time. Smiling, the little fire demon king said he wanted to see how long Qin Feng could withstand his attacks. The magma monster continued to attack, and Qin Feng tried to withstand the monster's attacks with his sword. The rocks around Qin Feng could no longer withstand the attacks of the magma monster, so Qin Feng had to jump to avoid the monster's attacks. As he was thrown quite far, Qin Feng thought that the magma monster was controlled by the little fire demon king. So as long as the little fire demon king could be restrained, the magma monster could be held back. Qin Feng jumped towards the opponent while asking Xiao Luan to hide because the situation was too dangerous. Qin Feng ran swiftly up the mountain, contemplating defeating the fire demon king first. However, once again, the massive arm of the magma monster attempted to block him, but this time Qin Feng attempted to fend off the magma monster with quick and deadly sword slashes. As the monster's arm was injured, it seemed to also harm the arm of the demon king. Just as Qin Feng was about to attack from behind, the fire demon king turned and struck Qin Feng's body with the magma monster's large arm. Xiao Luan immediately ran to Qin Feng, who was thrown into the magma lake. Fortunately, Qin Feng was unharmed due to the protective barrier he possessed. Qin Feng instructed Xiao Luan to hide, worried about the safety of his spiritual beast. Qin Feng raised his right arm and used the shadow bondage skill to restrain the fire demon king, with tendrils so strong. These tendrils successfully rendered the small demon king powerless, as well as his created magma monster. It was at this moment that Qin Feng advanced and attacked the monster with his sword, creating a huge explosion between them. However, the fire demon king still stood despite his body being full of wounds. The small fire king expressed his growing hatred towards Qin Feng. Meanwhile, Qin Feng suddenly disappeared, causing Xiao Luan to worry. But moments later, he appeared right beside the small fire demon king and swung his sword directly above the demon king's head. However, the attack was avoided by the fire king with both of his hands. Qin Feng realized that the small body of the fire demon king could withstand continuous strikes from a level 5 weapon. Qin Feng wondered how thick this dreadful skin could be and why it was so difficult to fight with just a few stars in combat strength. Qin Feng hoped to find the demon king's weakness soon. However, the small fire demon king was agile enough to evade all of his attacks and even hold his sharp sword with bare hands. Qin Feng was amazed. The fire demon king took Qin Feng's sword and commented on its greatness, expressing a desire to possess one like it. Then he slammed their heads together, throwing Qin Feng's body several meters away, crashing into a stone wall. The fire demon king declared his weariness of playing and his intent to end everything there. So the small fire demon king raised his hand, causing the clouds to turn red and appear terrifying. From the ominous clouds, a red spear descended, immediately caught by the small fire demon king. With confidence and a smirk on his face, the small fire demon king spun the spear in his hand and aimed it at a large rock, which shattered with a single strike. Then, the fire demon king in the form of a child rushed towards Qin Feng and attacked him vigorously. A fierce battle ensued between them. Qin Feng occasionally found opportunities to counterattack, although his attacks were easily evaded by the demon king. Qin Feng was puzzled because despite the child floating in the air, he could still easily avoid his attacks. Until finally, Qin Feng shouted, "Vigor," to deliver his ultimate attack, a rain of arrows from his hellfire skill. Finally, this attack hit the Fire Demon King's body accurately. Well, that's where the story ends for now, as the chapter is still ongoing. It means we have to wait a few more months to discuss it further. Thank you, and have a great day.